ESPN College Football presented by McDonald's. We are in Houston, Texas at NRG Stadium. Blustery day outside, but nice and perfect indoors here for the SWAC Championship 2016. Alcorn State's Braves come in at 5-4 against the unbeaten Grambling State Tigers at 9-0. And good afternoon to you, along with former NFL quarterback Jay Walker. I'm Eric Clemens. We'll hear from the third member of our broadcast team in just a few moments. But when you talk about Grambling, this is an offensive machine scoring more than 40 points a game, and it all starts and ends with their all-world quarterback, Devontae Kincaid.
The Ole Miss transfer has been simply spectacular in his inaugural season in the SWAC. The true dual-threat quarterback has shown great running ability and great decisions while running the ball to go along with the fantastic arm that's accounted for 31 touchdowns in the air this season. Devontae Kincaid has been the guy that's really brought emergence to this Grambling State offense, and for his efforts, he was awarded the 2016 SWAC Offensive Player of the Year.
He just brings a star quality to this program. He has been excellent in every facet of the game. He'll be fun to watch this afternoon. Now, on the other side of the ball, Alcorn State. They have battled injuries all season long. Finally, they're getting a bit healthy. How does a 5-4 SWAC team have a chance against unbeaten Grambling?
To defend your championship, you have to be healthy first. And for the first time all season long, this Alcorn State team is healthy, which means head coach Fred McNair has a football team that can play Alcorn State style of football. They want to run the football between the tackles and control the line of scrimmage. They're finally playing their best football of the season. This is a scary matchup for Grambling.
Broderick Fobbs in his third season at Grambling, of course his second straight unbeaten regular season campaign in the conference, and I think the G-men might be just a little bit below being back to that storied program we've heard about all these years.
If they're not back, they're very close, and Broderick Fobbs has a lot to do with the recent turnaround at Grambling State football.
All right, the third member of our broadcast team, Sherry Burris, is down on the field. Sherry?
Hey guys, you know, Lenoris Footman will be starting quarterback for Alcorn. It was a game time decision, but right before the game I asked Fred McNair who his starting quarterback was going to be. He says Footman is good to go.
All right, Sherry, we'll hear from you a little bit later on. Alcorn has won the coin toss and will receive. We'll be going from our right to our left. Fred McNair, sixth season overall at Alcorn. He developed lots of great quarterbacks here, was one himself. Get more into that. And the purple and gold has traveled well. Tavares Jackson is back deep to receive the kickoff. He's on his own 5. He'll take the kick from Jonathan Wallace, all-conference second-team kicker for Grambling. And Tavares Jackson averaging almost 19 yards of return this season. And here we go. 2016 SWAC Championship underway. And Jackson takes it at his 11. Gets a hole up the middle, and there's a penalty flag down as he gets close to the 30-yard line. So we'll see how they sort it out before Alcorn takes control on offense.
During the return team, number 25, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down, Alcorn.
Eric Foster with the illegal block in the back on the return. So instead of being out near the 30, Jay Walker, they have got to start it back the better of the two passers from the quarterback spot.
Manageable situation. Not a big fan of having Turner play in the slot right now, not having him in the backfield. He's had an impact running the football early in this game. Why go away from him?
Footman on the quarterback draw, trying to get away. I don't think he'll get there. He is swarmed under. And the first one there to greet him was Arquez Cooper, the linebacker, leading tackler, one of the best on that defense.
It's a short yardage situation. You know, short yardage yards are hard to come by. There's going to be a lot of contact. Do you want to have your 220-pound running back running the football or your 180-pound quarterback just coming off an injury? I thought that should have been a no-brainer. Get the ball to Lance Turner and make Grambling show they can stop him.
On 4th and 1, so far Fred McNair showing that he might be going for it. And now he's going to bring the punt team out. So it would have been a gutsy move very early to go for it. 4th and 1 on your own 38.5, but they're going to decide better of it and decide to punt it away.
I know they were thinking if we can keep the football a little bit longer and keep it away from Grambling, that would have been great. But ultimately, Coach McNair made the right decision this early in the contest. You don't want to give Grambling outstanding field position if you come up short.
Hayden McCraney getting that one away. A flag is down on the play and waving for everybody to get away from the short kick. And it'll roll dead at the 35-yard line.
Let's see what this penalty is.
We have a flag on the play first. Let's see what that's about.
Might have been offsides on Grambling.
Referee is Rod Holloway. And of course, if it's offsides on Grambling, that's a first down for Alcorn, and they'll keep the ball.
Offside. Number 17, defense. Line up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Results of enforcement. First down.
Wow, that's a mental error on the special teams unit from Grambling State University. When you line up in the neutral zone, that's something that's not physically related. They didn't beat you. That's a mental error. Costly early in this football game. It allows Alcorn to maintain control of the football, and more importantly for Alcorn, deflate the game, slow it down, eat up some clock.
Montrell Meander is the one that lined up in the neutral zone. That is Lenore's Footman. Glad to keep this drive alive and move the sticks. 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. Turner comes near side and has his man Collins Morgan. Nice spin move to get some extra yardage. And he gets it across midfield to the 48-yard line. 9 yards on that first down pickup.
Nice decision by Footman, locating the off-soft coverage on the outside. Nice pickup on first down. 2nd and 1, this is dangerous. Secondary playing off the ball, willing to concede any type of short yardage throws.
Wow, Footman gets away from what would have been a head-knocking kind of hit, as coming in there early with some pressure was Arquez Cooper, but he finally goes down for the sack.
They brought the blitz. You see Cooper come right up the middle. They missed block scheme right there. You saw the right guard, Landon Bolden, vacate a wide open pass rusher and Arquez Cooper. Cooper missed the sack. And at that point, if you're Footman, just get rid of the football. Once Footman escapes, get rid of the football to make it 3rd and 1. Now it's 3rd and 6.
Darius Christmas picking up the sack on that play. Here's the quarterback draw. Footman trying to get outside, and a nice open field tackle stops that right away. A pickup of only 3 yards before he's brought down, and now they're going to punt. Derek Dixon came up from his safety position to make that nice open field tackle on Footman. So once again, they're going to have to punt the football away.
2 situations where I thought Alcorn, you get 3rd and 1 and 2nd and 1 and you don't convert. Got away from doing what they've been doing well, which is running the football behind Lance Turner early in this football contest.
Hayden McCraney going to punt it deep to Verlan Hunter. And a rugby-style kick. Bounces pretty dead. It'll roll dead at the 18-yard line, where Grambling State will take over. Grambling State in this juggernaut of an offense gets their first possession coming up. First quarter continuing in the SWAC Championship. Welcome to Jimmy V Week for Cancer Research on ESPN as we continue our commitment to the V Foundation and Jim Valvano's dream to defeat cancer. We are here in NRG Stadium, Houston, Texas. Nice and comfy indoors, Grambling. And this offense averaging more than 40 points a game, led by Devontae Kincaid. Coming out for their first possession, and Kincaid to put it in the air. Now gets away from some trouble. Gonna keep it. And Kincaid dives down at the 25-yard line. Nice pickup on first down as he escaped some pressure and made something out of it. And the numbers speak for themselves for him.
America meet Devontae Kincaid. What you saw there is just a microcosm of what he's been able to accomplish this season. Great decision making on when to run the football, when to throw the football. He's probably the ultimate weapon in the SWAC.
Oh, a little truck move by Justin Kelly, taking it off the left side, just ran over a defender. That'll be first down yardage. He picks up 8 on that second down play. So Grambling looking like the juggernaut that they've been in their first 2 plays of 7 and 8 yards.
Well, they bring in Kelly to establish the tone. He's their power running back, 5'11", 240 pounds. They want him to go in there and throw that and try and take the heart of this Alcorn defense.
O.J. O'Neal was the guy who was run over that time, and here Kelly right up the middle. Kelly doing a little Walter Payton juke as he gets it inside the 25-yard line, first down.
Martez Carter's a speed back, but Justin Kelly looking for contact, and once he broke past the line of scrimmage, there was nobody for him to hit. Great job by the center, getting to the second level. Terry Boyd becomes a foot race, and Justin Kelly having an immediate impact on this football game. that kangaroo kick that Walter Payton made famous.
49 yards on that pickup, and Kincaid swings it far side, and that's his all-conference receiver. Chad Williams came in with 86 catches on the year for more than 1,200 yards. He's pushed out by Javen Morrison after a nice pickup on first down.
Now they bring Martez Carter into the backfield, the scat back. Look for him to try and get something on the edge. He's a home run hitter from his running back position. They put him in a true pistol along with Kincaid. That's a lot of speed in the Grambling offensive backfield.
And Carter bounces off a tackle, is hit hard, but he's going to be ruled down by contact before the ball came loose. Darian Anderson was the one who scooped it up just in case, but he was called down by contact after a pickup of only 1.
I think you have to take a look at that one. It was a hard hit made on Martez Carter. They do have instant replay in this game.
The previous play is under review.
It starts
It
coming
was
out
been
before
down
he
by
hits the
contact.
ground. That should be a fumble. He gets turned sideways. Here's the hit. Ball's moving before he hits the ground. I believe they're going to call that a fumble.
Martez Carter, one of the trio of running backs Broderick Fobbs and Eric Dooley like to use with this offense. Kelly and Lindemian Brooks, a sophomore, rotate action at the running back spot for Grambling.
What'd you see on the replay? Did you see what I saw?
I saw that ball coming out. It looked like, I mean, the elbow was going close, but I think it was coming out even before the elbow hit, so I think that's going to be reversed.
Yeah, I think the key is going to be the movement of the ball before he hits the ground. Ball starts moving, he's losing control, and the ground knocks the ball out. The ground can cause a fumble if you start losing control of the football. Nice hard hit on the ball by O.J. O'Neal, who they say is the thumper in the defensive secondary for Alcorn. So he's bringing some impact hits to the table whenever he makes a tackle, and that could be a huge turnover.
My question is, the ball is coming a little loose when the elbow hits, and because it's coming loose, I think they're going to have to rule out a fumble. If he had maintained possession of it and the elbow hits, I think the ball stays where it is. It's going to be very interesting and a tough call. Even with the replays, it's tough for these guys to get them right because that's bang bang and that's big.
Yes, it's just a matter of, I don't think he had control of football as he was going to the ground.
I agree.
But what I always say, I think I'm batting about 300 this year.
Okay. But there's the elbow down. Moving. The ball is kind of moving out. Does he have enough possession of it by the time he goes all the way down before it comes out? again, I'm the guy who's looking a little deeper, probably too deep for your Howard mind to digest. But that would be, I think, the thing that they're trying to decide. Did he have enough control of it when that elbow hit that it would not be a fumble? I think personally it was, but I'm not an official either.
They're taking a long time, so it's like almost, hey, what's a catch right now? What's a fumble? And it's in the eyes of the interpreter, the replay officials, Ken Dollar. They do a good job here of making sure they get it right. That's what it's all about.
Right.
It's a delay in action. Nobody likes it. It's not fun watching officials on the field, but if they get it right, because the students, athletes, and the coaches put so much preparation in, if they make a play, you want them to be rewarded properly.
And it is a worthwhile endeavor. I mean, if you've got the ability to do it, you might as well use the replay and the technology to get a call right, rather than have a game swing on a call that was missed.
In the Mid-East Athletic Conference and the SWAC, they are the two FCS conferences throughout the season that utilize instant replay for all their televised games. So if you have the technology available to you, you should use it. Make sure you can eliminate as much human error as possible.
Arian Anderson, first team all-conference this year, leading tackler on that defense, pounced all over that ball when it did squirt loose over there, and he has made big plays for Coach McNair's defense all year. And needless to say, they are making absolutely sure they get this one right.
Now I'm thinking when it goes this long, then they're saying there may not be enough to overturn the call on the field. This is a long time for a replay. I think you have to make that decision. Maybe they're taking a look at that elbow like you talked about earlier. But I just think the hit moved the football, jarred the ball loose, started losing control, and it came out when he hit the ground.
Sherry Burris down on the field. What do you got down there for us, Sherry?
Yeah, I'm down here on the Grambling sideline, and I have Broderick Fobbs right in my eyesight, and everyone on this Grambling sideline is very intently listening, watching, but everyone is still very calm despite the refs taking such a long time to figure out if that was a fumble or not.
Well, let's see how calm they stay once the ref comes back and starts talking. then we'll see. Broderick Fobbs, when you talk about one of the best young coaches you're going to see in the college football landscape, not just HBCU, FCS, bright future ahead of him, son of a coach, and the job he's done at Grambling has been nothing short of remarkable. A lot of people remember Grambling from 2013, a team that didn't show up for a game. Well, now look at them now.
Right.
Competing for a SWAC championship, ranked in the top 15 in all of FCS football.
Very interesting answer when we asked him, is Grambling football back earlier this year, and he said not quite. When they go to Japan and when they do a lot of
After further review, the ruling on the play was a fumble recovered by Alcorn on the 16-yard line. First down, Alcorn. Please reset the game clock to 7 minutes, 30 seconds. Thank you.
Martez Carter, a key turnover that time. One more look at it, and you were right. I mean, the ball's coming loose.
They started losing control. Nice thump by O.J. Neal. The thumper in the backfield, O'Neal, makes a hit on the football, starts to get it moving. And you saw Carter not able to maintain control for the fumble. I think they got it right on the field.
So a big turnover there. We talked a little bit about Fobbs, asking him earlier this week, was Grambling back? He said, until we're flying to Japan to play and some other things are happening, we're not quite back yet, but we're coming.
Yeah, and see, he knows what it is. He knows what Grambling means. Most people would judge it by wins and losses. It's not just wins and losses. It's the fan base. It's filling up our stadium. It's making us a worldwide product again. That's what he wants for this Grambling State Tiger program.
Norris Footman only listed at 181 pounds, running it up inside there on the designed quarterback run play, but picks up good yardage. 7 on the first down play. Jameel Jackson. Safety came up for Grambling to bring him down. Here's second down. And this is the running back, DeLance Turner, and Turner will be very close to first down yardage if he didn't get beyond the sticks.
First time in this ball game they've called consecutive running plays. You've got one of the best centers in the game in D'Antonio Day, number 66, 6'3", 300-pounder. He's the only returning starter from last year's squad, moved from left tackle to center. That's how gifted he is. Let him have an impact on this game.
Second team all-conference is Dade, and on first down, Footman rolling out.
Got him.
Throwing back this way, wide open. DeLance Turner at midfield. Turner in a foot race down to the
Great play call by Fred Keiss. Play action to Lance Turner, sneaks out the backfield on a wheel route. Nobody from Grambling paid attention to him. And all Footman had to do was just get the throw off. He was that wide open.
57 yards on that hookup. And here's Footman. Touchdown.
That's the music you don't want to hear if you're a Grambling State fan. When they start trying to make this NRG Stadium like the reservation down in Norman, Mississippi, the Braves off to a good start, first on the board here in the SWAC Championship. Take a look at the tight end pulling. Michael Ajunobi with the seal block from the tight end position. Footman with great agility to avoid contact for the touchdown.
Hayden McCraney coming on for the extra point. 2 big plays, 57 and 15 yards, producing the touchdown. And the extra point is right through and good. And the Braves of Alcorn State have struck first after the turnover. They lead Grambling 7-0 here with 6:12 to go in the first quarter.
Football Championship is presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
We are back in Houston, Texas, NRG Stadium, and tonight on ABC, it's the 2016 Dr. Pepper ACC Championship game from Orlando. Deshaun Watson and number 4 Clemson take on Virginia Tech with a spot in the college football playoff on the line for the Tigers. Our coverage begins 8 p.m. Eastern on ABC, also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. A 4-play, 84-yard drive. Lenoris Footman returning from that hand injury, nothing wrong with the legs on that 15-yard touchdown run to give his team the lead. Martez Carter is back deep on this kickoff along with Dominique Leak, one of the deep guys. But there's Martez Carter.
You know what happens after a fumble, guys tend to run a little bit harder trying to make up for their mistakes. Let's see what Carter does.
Carter gets outside and gets it just over the 15-yard line, where Grambling will take over 1st and 10. They marched the ball right down the field, but of course had the unfortunate turnover, which led to points for the Braves of Alcorn State. And so now let's see if Grambling can continue to move the ball without key mistakes this time around on their second possession.
And sometimes when you do too much over rotation, I like to call it, Justin Kelly had an impact on the game. He was running the ball hard. Alcorn didn't want to hit him. They chose to take him out, put in Martez Carter. Carter not quite loose, fumbles the football. So now Grambling's still looking for an identity offensively.
Devontae Kincaid begins their second possession with the empty backfield. 4 receivers split to the right, bottom of your screen. Stepping up in the pocket, buying some time. And Kincaid hit and knocked out of bounds. But I think he'll be ruled out of bounds before he actually threw the ball away that time. Eric Foster came up from that cornerback and or nickel position.
Take a look at number 44, Darian Anderson. He's spying Kincaid. Doesn't have the foot speed to catch him, but kept him in his grabs to make him flush out where Kincaid was looking to run forward for positive yardage. That's a great linebacker play from the all-SWAC performer from Miami, Florida.
They'll call that a sack for -4 yards on the play. And Alcorn has the ability to really get after quarterbacks here. And here's Carter bouncing off tackle. Big lane, big hole, and great speed. Gets it out close to midfield. Martez Carter. You said they run harder after they commit a big turnover. He certainly ran hard that time.
Oh, he did a great job. And you're going to see Eric Foster, number 25, slip. Loses his angle of pursuit on the tackle, and a great runner like Martez Carter is going to make you pay with that much open field.
35 yards on that pickup before Jaron Harness hurt his knee trying to make the tackle, or at least is injured on the field. One of the guys trying to make the tackle. And he's being attended to down on the field.
This is a walk that's been all too familiar for head coach Fred McNair this season, as we talked about it. injury bug showing up here in the SWAC Championship early in the first quarter. It's 7-0 Alcorn.
Now's the time on Sprockets when we dance.
Need wiper blades? We've got you covered. The highly trained technicians at Jiffy Lube do more than just oil changes. We also exchange transmission fluid, rotate tires, and more, all in a jiffy.
Nickelback Jaron Harness being attended to on the sidelines. Look like they are examining the right knee area as he suffered an injury on that nice run by Martez Carter.
See, towards the end of the run, you can see his right knee just kind of get underneath him awkwardly. Grabs it right away, bangs it. Let's hope it's nothing serious and he has an opportunity to return to the game.
Lindemian Brooks and Martez Carter now line up on either side of Devontae Kincaid, and that's Carter going off the left side, gets it up to midfield for 2 before he's brought down.
Tell you what, Darian Anderson again having an impact on this game. Hard tackle. That's what you want your inside linebacker to do. 6'1", 240 pounds, taking on a 175-pound rusher in Carter. You want the hits to hurt. Hard hit by Darian Thompson on that simple 2-yard run from Grambling. He's a phone booth guy. You know they call him phone booth guys. You don't want to be caught in a fight with him in the phone booth.
Right.
If I'm Martez Carter, I'm using all 100 yards, 53 yards across.
Quick pitch play is blown up in the backfield by Javen Morrison. And
Morrison's been a pleasant surprise. A true freshman, diamond in the rough. Came in and really helped bring some stability to an offensive secondary that was defensive secondary that was really struggling.
Now we have a timeout on the field. Alcorn is going to take a timeout here and talk things over on a big 3rd down and 8 play. This college football season, stream every game live on the ESPN app and on Watch ESPN. You can download the app or visit watchespn.com today. The Texas skyline a little cloudier, at least this morning. It's been raining the last couple days here, but we are so happy to be indoors here at NRG Stadium. Beautiful facility and home of the Houston Texas of the National Football League, as Howard Cosell would say.
This place is so big that the Astrodome is still up next to it, and it looks small.
Yeah, it looks like it's dwarfs.
Minuscule.
I remember as a kid that being called the 8th wonder of the world. This magnificent structure, the Astrodome, and
they do it big here in Texas, and this stadium is no different.
Looks like the little house next door. 3rd and 8, big 3rd down. Kincaid gonna take off. He is met, and there's a flag down in the backfield. He will be sacked on the play, 2nd sack of the game. But there is a flag down in the backfield in the area where you might find holding or maybe some illegal contact.
Should be holding. They brought pressure. The offensive line for Grambling struggled.
Personal foul. Illegal hands to the face. Number 78 offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Trent Scott, the 6'5", 304-pound senior out of Huntsville, Alabama, their best offensive lineman so far this year, makes the illegal contact to the face right there.
Alcorn rolled the dice. Defensive coordinator Cedric Thomas blitz the pocket for Kincaid. Man-to-man coverage across the board. Secondary did a good job holding up. Thus forcing Kincaid to eat the football.
So I guess they're going to
decline the
penalty, or are they?
I don't blame you. I don't give Alcorn Grambling State 2 shots at picking up 20 yards. They're that explosive. Give them 1 on 4th down. If they choose to go for it, okay, but good call, declining the penalty by Fred McNair.
And we have another flag down on the play, some movement on the interior, and it looks like false start against Grambling.
False start. 37 offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Roderick Fobbs seen some mental errors, fumble earlier, and now A false start against his special teams, the punt team. Abubakar Kante was the man who committed the infraction. Collins Moore is back deep, waving everybody off of this one. The punt from Jonathan Wallace goes out of bounds. And Alcorn will get it back on offense with 3:56 to go here in the first quarter. Let's go down to Sherry for an injury update. Sherry?
Yeah, Duron Harness is here on the table. He was the player that went down, immediately grabbing his right knee. Right now, he is still on the table with 4 or 5 different medical staff around him. They put a right knee brace on his leg. I also saw them bring out the crutches. Coach McNair did stop by to see how he was doing, but now he's back with the team.
Well, he didn't look too happy down there. Crutches, I think his ball game is over.
Fake jet sweep, and Lenore's Footman's going to keep it and dives forward, and another flag down on the play as Footman dived and came down at the 29-yard line. But let's see what the flag is about.
Personal foul. Illegal hands to the face. Number 5 on the defense. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
And Darius Christmas, another mental mistake for Grambling. And that moves the ball forward another 15 yards and gives Alcorn a first down. As Lenore's Footman has a fresh set to begin with.
Early in this game, Grambling seems a little tight. They seem a little tight. Alcorn's coming in here gung-ho. And I think the only way Grambling will be tight is they still have to prove that they can take the title from the 2-time defending SWAC championship. It's theirs for the having. And they have what it takes mentally to get over that hurdle.
Play fake, Footman trying to get the corner and does, turns upfield. Boy, he's hit late out of bounds, and the flag comes from way back. And the back judge there is throwing a flag, so we get another penalty. And Marshall Jackson might have been the one with the late hit out of bounds.
Personal foul. Illegal low block. Number 6. Offense. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Wow. Tavares Johnson with a illegal low block. I was certain that they were probably calling a late hit out of bounds on the play possibly as well, but they did not, so move it back 15 from the spot of the foul.
Yeah, freshman mistake by Johnson. You see him here, number 6. He goes low. I thought they were going to call the contact made well on the sideline. That's one where the young freshman has to learn. You cannot cut those guys when they're going against the grain and the ball's coming your way.
Footman stepping up, going deep down the middle and overshot his man. He was looking for Collins Moore, and that one was a little high and almost intercepted by Guy Stallworth.
And Footman had a wide open Collins Moore, the 6'2" transfer from Ole Miss, finds a soft spot in the zone, just lower that throw, and that could have been a huge play for Alcorn. Talk about Collins Moore, the transfer from Ole Miss. We talked about Kincaid. That's the change you're starting to see on the FCS level. Impact transfers that can come in and make a difference for you. Collins Moore, a pleasant surprise for Fred McNair down at Alcorn.
Play clock winding down inside of 5, and now something's going to have to give, otherwise they'll be called for a delay of game.
Timeout. Alcorn State.
Alcorn State will take a timeout, which gives us some time for one of my favorite segments that I've enjoyed doing with you all season long. Give me 5. So what's your give me 5 in our final SWAC game of the year?
Well, we always talk about the topics, and that's what gets everybody going, but we talk about the release first. Kincaid can throw it. But that kid Jay Walker, once upon a time, he could throw it. How about this? The top 5 moments of this season's HBCU
all right.
season.
Give me number 5.
Turkey Day Classic. That was the best halftime show I've seen all season long. Grambling and Jackson threw a nice one. They threw down Miles College, the Honeybees. They got busy down there in Montgomery on Turkey Day. That was your first Turkey Day Classic.
Yes.
We couldn't determine who won the halftime. Miles was a pleasant surprise. He came in there and tried to win it. So we've got more coming up, but that's my 5th best moment of this HBCU season.
That's not a bad start, my friend. Not a bad start. Those honeybees are outstanding. They bring the house down every time they take the field.
I like that. I like the honeybees, but let's not get carried away now. Stingettes are still what I want to see.
Oh, okay. All right.
You like honeybees? I like stingettes.
I'm just saying how good they were. I'm neutral here. I love them all. 2nd and 22 after the penalty. And Footman in some trouble. Has to get rid of that one. There's another flag on the play in the area of holding as Footman gets helped up from his backside as he was under pressure from word go on that snap. And it looks like you see some frustration on behalf of some Grambling players. Perhaps they're called for something here. Let's see what our referee Rod Holloway has to say about it.
Personal foul, face mask, number 99. Personal foul, face mask, number 99 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Wow.
And we have seen a number of mental mistakes from Grambling, and we aren't done with the first quarter just yet. So new life, fresh set of downs. It was a 2nd and long situation. They give him the first down. Grambling's 4th penalty for 40 yards. Alcorn has had 2 called against it for 25. So 1st and 10. And this is Silas Spearman. Spearman had a nice hole off the left side. He was met by Guy Stallworth, but not until he picked up 6 yards on the play on 1st down.
Spearman, the quick back for Alcorn. We saw Delance Turner runs with power. They bring in Spearman. They're trying to bring some speed to the backfield.
This is Spearman coming near side, cuts it back nicely, and gets down to about the 35-yard line. They'll move the change once again after the quick back shows his stuff. Derek Dixon brought him down, might have actually saved a touchdown after that cutback.
But look at the patience shown by the speed back. Set it up outside, allow the offensive line to get a hold of their blockers, and then cut north-south. So often the speed backs come in there, they want to hit everything quick.
Defense
Great
injury
patience by
timeout.
Spearman.
Set the game, the play clock to 40 seconds.
We have an injury on the defense. Derek Dixon went down and is being attended to at the 27-yard line of Grambling. So a defensive injury timeout. And it looks like they're looking at his hand.
Dixon, one of 2 transfers having an immediate impact on the defensive side of the ball. Dixon transferred from Texas Tech into Grambling. He, along with number 99, we saw earlier, Blaine Winston, transferred from Louisiana Lafayette. And I like Coach Fobb's approach on it. He said, you know, that's part of the fabric of who we are. He's been around HBCU football. He loves it, not downgrading it. I was a transfer into Howard. People consider me a Howard man. And more importantly, I think what you get when you get guys transferring to Grambling, you're not going to touch the field unless you become a Grambling man. That's a statement they say with a lot of pride. You have to be a Grambling man. Coach Eddie Robinson always said, we're Grambling men. Probably the most famous men in the country, along with Morehouse men, are Grambling men. So when guys are transferring in, I think it's the best of both worlds. You get to play quality football, but understand life the Grambling way.
Roderick Fobbs, his 3rd season at the helm of the resurgent Grambling State Tigers football program. A little bit concerned now as the Braves of Alcorn State, Lenore's Footman and company, moving the ball down the field with the aid of a few penalties against the Tigers. And another flag down on the play. We have a false start is the preliminary signal.
Snap. False start. 75 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So Edric Thigpen moves a little early.
And I'm agreeing with you, Eric. With Grambling getting out the gate slow as you are, important for Alcorn to put them down by 2 touchdowns. You don't want to have a just 7-point lead. As poorly as Grambling's played right now, they should be down by 2 scores. Alcorn has to make every effort they can to get 7 points on the board this drive.
Goodman operating out of the empty backfield. Pump fakes, in some trouble, and now gets away and dives for his life at the 36-yard line. He gets almost back to the original line of scrimmage before Arquez Cooper was there to greet him and bring him down.
And I really like the way Footman's playing right now. He's showing the athletic ability back to make people move and avoid tackles, but more importantly, not forcing the ball in the passing game. They had a double move set up on the outside, stutter go. It wasn't there. Tuck it right away, quick decision, pick up as much yards as you can. Good job by Footman.
2nd and 11. And a give and busting through a nice hole. That time was DeLance Turner, and Turner brought down at the 30-yard line. And that'll be the final play after the 6-yard gain in the first quarter.
End of the first quarter.
So the Braves of Alcorn State on the move at the 30-yard line after 1. Alcorn State leading unbeaten Grambling 7-0.
Loving it.
Eric Lemons, Jay Walker, Sherry Burris back with you from NRG Stadium in Houston, where Alcorn leading Grambling 7-0 in the 2016 SWAC Championship, and Alcorn on the move and being able to run the ball pretty well, and actually a pretty balanced attack. 71 yards rushing in the first quarter for the Braves, 77 passing. And the Norris Footman Company on the move once again. In time of possession in that first quarter, the Braves almost 11 minutes, Grambling just over 4.
Take a look at the tight end, Ajumobi, in the game. When he's in the game, they like to get him involved one way or another.
A fake of the jet sweep, and Footman in trouble trying to get the corner, and is pushed out of bounds before he can. Jatarius Pouncey forced him out of bounds there before he could get that corner turned. So it'll be a big 3rd or 4th down play and 5.
Well, I agree with the decision here. Their kicker, they say, it has about a maximum range of 47 yards. Not feeling comfortable with him going for it in this situation. Why not go for it here on 4th down?
Footman has DeLance Turner in the backfield with him, and 3 receivers split to the bottom of your screen, wide right. And he has his receiver. And that is Norlando Veals, who stepped up greatly because of a lot of injuries at that position. And Veals moves the chains once again in a big 3rd down slant play.
Yeah, I think the hurry-up offense really caught Grambling off sides on 4th down. All of their defensive backs were 7-8 yards from the line of scrimmage. Underneath route run by Veals. Nice throw from Footman.
17 yards on that play, so 1st and 10. And here's DeLance Turner, gets inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line before he's stacked up.
Right now, Alcorn's controlling the line of scrimmage. Grambling, in order to stop Alcorn from running, they've got to blitz Arquez Cooper. They've got to bring Malcolm Williams, the linebacker. The front 3 from Grambling right now not getting it done. Versus healthy for the first time. We talked about the offensive line from Alcorn healthy for the first time this year, and they're having an impact in this game.
Remember, the Braves have rushed as a team for at least 155 yards in 9 of their 10 games this year, and at least 255 in their last 4 in a row. And here's Aaron Baker. And Baker, the redshirt junior out of Belglades, Florida, slams it off the right side, picks up just 1.
Big Aaron Baker from Belglades, Florida. Justin Kelly from Grambling, 6'1", 240 pounds. Well, Aaron Baker from Alcorn, 5'10", 240 pounds. a little bit more stocky. They like to get him involved in the red zone. He's a bruiser.
Alcorn 1 for 4 on third downs so far in this game, and this is a big one early here in the second quarter with the Braves leading up 7 rather, and trying to pad that lead.
A lot of confusion going on for Alcorn.
Seems to be a lot of confusion. And we have whistles.
Smart call. Timeout call by Fred McNair.
Timeout, Alcorn State.
We have an injured Grambling player down on the field as well after they take a 30-second timeout. And it looks like Brian Winston, second-team all-conference defensive end, that transfer out of Louisiana Lafayette we talked about, being attended to down on the field. Looks like they're looking at his right leg, lower leg.
They need him.
Yes.
They need him. He's the guy on the defensive line that he's the most disruptive defensive lineman they have, creates havoc. And it's kind of interesting to hear Coach Fobbs talk about how he was able to get Blaine Winston to come to Grambling. They're from Monroe, Louisiana. And people don't know the Fobbs family. They're from Monroe. And Monroe, Louisiana has always had deep ties to this program at Grambling. James Shaq Harris is from Monroe. All those folks are from Monroe. And there's a natural pipeline. They all know each other. And that's why Blaine Winston said, hopefully one day I get to play for you. Graduated early from Louisiana Lafayette so he could play for Grambling this year, Coach Fobbs.
Alcorn has used all of its timeouts. Let's go down to Sherry on the sidelines for more. Sherry.
Yeah, guys, it was Derek Dixon who went down for Grambling, number 30. I saw him on the bench. It was his right wrist that was getting rechecked and retaped, and they even checked to see his mobility if he could push back on his wrist as they were retaping it.
And walking off the field under his own power, which is nice to see, is Blaine Winston. And hopefully that means he can return to action because, as you pointed out, they need him on that defensive line, an outstanding defensive line all year long for Grambling.
They really need him right now. It's 3rd and 3.5, maybe call it 4 yards. Anticipate Alcorn's going to run the football. Well, they're missing their 6'4", 294-pound defensive end Winston on the sideline. Good opportunity for Alcorn to steal this first down and make it 1st and goal with power running.
And Footman that time might have been a design quarterback keeper, but Arquez Cooper was there, was having none of it.
Yeah, but they went for the home run. They went for the touchdown. It was 3rd down. You can pick up a first. And why go for the touchdown throw? You only needed 4 yards. They tried to trick Alcorn and sneak Aaron Baker out of the backfield. He wasn't there. Footman just stepped up and tried to make a play. I think you go for it running the football. If you make it 4th and 1, you go for it then. Not a big fan of the call to try and get the ball in the end zone on 3rd and short.
Hayden McCraney's going to attempt this one from 27 yards out. That one is up and good. So Alcorn, despite going for it all there to try to go up by 14, is up by 10 with 11:56 to go here in the second quarter.
The 2016 SWAC Football Championship is presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
We are back here at NRG Stadium, Houston, Texas. Alcorn State has added to its lead, 10-0 now for Grambling. 14-play, 65-yard drive. And Jay, even though you didn't love that 3rd down call there inside the red zone, they did keep it for 7 minutes. That's 7 less minutes that Grambling State offense is not on the field.
I'm not going to let you back off the statement you made earlier. They needed a touchdown. You said they need to score touchdowns. Put them down by 2 touchdowns rather than 10 points versus an explosive offense. They drove the ball all the way down, just fizzled once they got inside the 20.
And here's Carter feeling it at his 3. Hurdles a couple people, another flag comes in. As he got out across the 20 to the 23-yard line, but we'll see how they sort it out.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 58 of the return team. 10 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Call that another mental error?
Yes.
Pushing somebody in the back.
There have been several. I mean,
correction. The foul is committed by number 58 of the kicking team. 10 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Okay, so they get that one straightened out. So
not a block in the back. That would be unnecessary roughness.
So Brillion Hollis is the guy who
this
is called.
Oh, even fouls. Well, what are you saying? You have to. You call a block in the back on the kicking team? They don't have the ball. Whichever way it is, Grambling got the benefit of the penalty. Better field position. Right now, Coach Fobbs is trying to figure out a way to settle down his Tiger ball club and start playing Grambling football.
Kincaid off the play fake, looking deep. Now he's got to escape trouble and cannot. Michael Hearns, number 7, is there. Second team all-conference. As Kincaid just would not pull the trigger. Good coverage downfield.
This is a very dangerous wide receiver core, but protection doesn't hold up. Great individual effort by Michael Hearn going against Trey Goins, the left guard. Hearns would not be denied using his speed to avoid Goins.
4 yards lost on that sack. And Kincaid bounces that one in as he was looking on the near side for Devon Lindsay. And so it'll be 3rd and very long. Now Alcorn came into this game ranked 11th in FCS with 30 sacks coming in. They have 3 so far in this one, so they're getting the kind of pressure on Kincaid that they want. And this is a big 3rd down and very long for a high-powered Grambling offense that outside of the first drive that ended on a turnover hasn't done much.
The previous play is under review, or the pass was incomplete.
Grambling only 0 for 1 on 3rd down so far in the game. They haven't had it that much. But I don't know, Jay, I thought that was pretty clear. That one bounced in front of the intended receiver.
Yeah, I didn't think it was close, but we'll take a look at it with the replays, a quick play. You know, now, while they're reviewing this, if it turns out to be an incomplete pass, then it favors Alcorn because you got to rest your defensive lineman, game plan a little bit more for this 3rd and long. Seems like he skipped this throw by about, yeah, it's off the turf. The official's right there. You know, respect the official. He's right there on. He can see that throw.
That certainly is not a definitive angle from behind there. I'll say this, as I look at the replay, it's closer than I thought it was, seeing it in real time and real speed when it actually happened. So, again, they want to get it right. I do not know that there's enough there to overturn it. I don't think there is.
Take a look here. Yeah, the ball hits off the ground. He does a good job of controlling it, not letting it move. He actually trapped that ball nicely on the ground. I think that was a catch by Dominic Lee. That's what you recommend. Hey, you see enough to overturn the call or not. If you're taking this long, then maybe it's not going to overturn that call. Let the play on the field stand. Let's play football.
Roderick Fobbs has a play called, and in case the call stands that it's incomplete and sets up 3rd and 14.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. 3rd down.
You know, you look at the terminology, they said it stands. They didn't say it's confirmed, so not enough to overturn it, but I thought you saw the ball clearly skip up off the turf.
Here's Devontae Kincaid going deep, has a man open, and overshot him just a little bit as he was looking for his all-star receiver, Chad Williams, and Williams had a couple steps.
Overthrown, but I don't know if Williams can't come away with this catch. I thought he got one hand on the football. Lay out for that one in this type of situation.
All right, so tomorrow we'll have the College Football Playoff Selection Show. 4-hour special to exclusively reveal the College Football Playoff semifinal matchups in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl and PlayStation Fiesta Bowl on December 31st. Here's the punt. And it is fair caught. That time by Collins Moore, just inside the 30-yard line, and Jonathan Wallace is down on the field at about the 19.
And the Grambling fans want a penalty thrown on Alcorn.
I do not see a flag on the field as it stands right now, but Wallace, he's a second-team all-conference kicker, and he is laying on his back right now as he's being attended to.
Rugby style. They're saying he was blocked until I didn't see contact.
If there was any contact, it was to the lower right leg area, the shin or ankle area, as he was going past, but certainly nothing.
I think he might have twisted his ankle the way he came down, but I don't think it was because of contact.
Yeah, he turns it.
He turned that right ankle.
Turns it on the landing.
And Jonathan Wallace is the punter and kicker for Grambling, so take note of that one, that right foot. See if that affects him on field goals and extra points.
Now, if you're Alcorn, you want to continue business as usual. Pound the football, a good running drive, eat up some time on the clock, and add to this 10-point lead to really put the pressure on Grambling State here with just under 11 minutes to go in the first half. And this is
Turner.
The Lance Turner, and Turner breaks away. Foot race. Touchdown. 69 yards. The Lance Turner.
Look at the wide split you're going to see here. Look at these lanes right here. They're trying to force Grambling to show their hand. The Lance Turner comes across the formation, finds a crease, makes one man miss, becomes a foot race. We said we haven't seen Grambling stop the running attack of Alcorn yet in this game, and it's showing up now as the Braves continue to control the line of scrimmage.
The previous play is under further review of a score on the play. Alcorn State has been issued their first sideline warning.
And Lance Turner explodes for a 69-yard run, and now the question is whether he stayed in bounds over the last couple yards of that run and whether he'll be awarded a touchdown. Most scoring plays in replay are reviewed anyway, so.
Tell you what, these fans travel. You know, they've said, you know, for years it was always known that, you know, from what I've seen, Southern University, the best traveling group of fans in the country, Jaguar Nation. A couple years ago, Alcorn started to say, well, we're becoming the new Southern. And now with the success they had back-to-back championships, they may be on to something.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed of a score.
Because they've taken over H-Town. Grambling doesn't get their act together this dream season, fall short. Give credit to the Braves, resilient, pride in their program, and what they say, if you want to be the man, you have to beat the man. And Alcorn showing that the man's not going easily.
Hayden McCraney on to attempt the extra point. And that one is good. One more look at it. DeLance Turner.
Timeout.
A guy with power and speed. Showed a little bit of both. And some fancy footwork, 69 yards, and the Braves of Alcorn State looking good, trying for their third straight conference title. Welcome back to Houston. You know, folks at Alcorn like to say, for those who don't know how to pronounce the name, always Alcorn. Well, it's all Alcorn so far in this one at 17 zip, and Grambling had better wake up. They have been behind in games earlier this year, and Devontae Kincaid has calmly guided his team back. But I'm going to go out on a limb here and say they really need a score on this possession to send a message to their opponent.
They need to get it going. Particularly, we talk about comebacks. It was right here in the city of Houston where Texas Southern had Grambling down early, 28-7. They came away to pull away easily. Well, right now, this Alcorn defense a little bit stingier to Texas Southern.
Martez Carter still on his feet across the 30 to the 32-yard line. And Grambling will take over, 1st and 10 from there.
Now, offensive coordinator Eric Dooley, right now, if you're Grambling, you say, I get my best guys to football. And that's been Kincaid, the quarterback. He's going to get his touches. Chad Williams, probably the best football player on the field right now. Find ways to get Chad Williams involved in the game if you want to avoid having the first shutout of a half this season.
I have a feeling they'll come back to that fly pattern. He was open.
Yep. And they throw the ball. I mean, you know, they tell you we throw the ball so that we can run the ball. Well, they've coming out now running a lot. Time for them to get back to Grambling football, which is throwing the football all over the field.
And on 1st down, Kincaid looking deep downfield now, pulls it down and will not be able to escape. Sack number 4, and that time it's Darian Anderson, the all-conference first-team linebacker and leading tackler.
Great coverage by Alcorn. No place to go with the football. They're playing great coverage. There's nobody open. He's looking, going through his reads, not there. Then all of a sudden pressure comes from not only in the front, but from behind the defensive line. Great team defense by Alcorn.
Anderson spying the quarterback once again, and now we have another whistle on the play.
And a flag.
And a flag down. Alcorn 4 sacks so far in the game. They came in with 30, ranking number 11 in FCS. They've got guys who can get after it, and they've been getting after Devontae Kincaid in this game. Grambling has a couple sacks from their defense.
Illegal substitution. On the defense, 12 men in a formation. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Outside of that first drive that ended on a turnover, Grambling has just appeared out of sync in everything they've tried to do.
Yeah, they have. Alcorn's done a good job mixing it up. And they're that quiet confidence that they had all week going into this football game, and they're playing like it now.
Kincaid going deep. Chad Williams.
Great defense.
Whoa, what a play in the secondary that time to knock it away at the last minute. DeAndre Smith timed it perfectly to knock it away.
And you know why that ball wasn't thrown out there further? Because Kincaid had to chuck and duck. Watch this, but this is the man's throw right here. Anderson coming. He stood in there as long as he could, absorbed the contact. Williams goes up, but a great job of disengaging the receiver from the football by DeAndre Smith, eliminating the big play.
Big 3rd down play here to try to keep the drive alive. Down 17. This Grambling team averaging more than 40 points a game this season, and now we have a stoppage on the field. Timeout taken by Grambling.
Their first 30-second timeout.
Will they dial up on 3rd and 8? We'll find out when we come back to Houston in just a few minutes.
Clemson for
big 3rd down play here. 2nd quarter action, 9:47 to go in the half, NRG Stadium. And SWAC Conference unbeaten Grambling in some trouble. Kincaid stepping up in the pocket.
Nope.
And he will not escape. In the secondary, the thumper, O.J. O'Neal, is there to bring him down.
And I said no early during that play because they have him spined. So when they're bringing pressure, they just want Kincaid to leave the pocket. Normally you don't want a dual threat runner doing that, but if you can force him to leave the pocket, you know you've got guys that are going to make sound tackles. He's going to fall short of the first down. So schematically, they're confusing Devontae Kincaid right now. He's so used to taking off and running, where they're welcoming him running the football.
Jonathan Wallace, good to see him back on the field to attempt Grambling's third punt of the game. And another flag down as the returner bouncing off some tackles. And it looked like Collins Moore, but we have a flag down on the play. So we'll hear how they sort that out.
During the return, illegal blocking the back by the receiving team, number 20, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, first down.
Last drive when the Braves got the ball back, I said they needed a nice time ball controlled drive and one play for 69 yards, but Sherry Burris is down on the field for more. Sherry?
Guys, following that touchdown by Alcorn, I saw Terrence Graves, the linebacker coach for Grambling, pull in Malcolm Williams by the face mask, saw him pumping him up. The other linebackers, they all came into a huddle, and they were all seeming to talk about that last play and what just happened.
All right, Sherry. Grambling 4 penalties for 40 yards, Alcorn 6 for 55 in this game. And Lenore's Footman operating on first down.
And I'm sure Coach Graves probably grabbed him by the shoulder pads. but yeah, he's got to light him up. Coach Graves, good linebacker coach there. The linebackers are not playing assignment football, getting gashed for big runs by Alcorn offensively.
And Footman on the design quarterback draw play is brought down by Dearius Christmas after a very short gain, if any, on first down. No gain on that play.
I go back to the impact player for Alcorn has been Turner. Lance Turner. Make Grambling show they can stop him running the football. I will continue to feed him on first and second down.
Turner just short of 100 yards, 8 for 96 in the game, and has a big 57-yard catch. And there is Lance Turner, and he's brought down immediately by the ankles as he got that delay handoff. And he might have fallen forward for a half a yard. It'll be 3rd and long.
And this could be a turning point. I thought when they called the block in the back on the return, that moved the ball back. So the battlefield position should be in Grambling's favor if they can get a start. So we're going to mark that penalty to see if that becomes a turning point, maybe what helps ignite this Grambling State football team.
And there's Norlando Beals wide open over the middle. He gets out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Move the change for Alcorn. First down again.
And this is a great job by Norlando Beals because of what he was able to do. He was chucked probably 15 yards down the field, but he kept running his pattern. I thought there was defensive contact late in that route. The officials didn't call it. He kept running his pattern. Footman stayed with him. Huge first down for the Braves.
Beals came into the game with 27 catches. And this time this is a Spearman. And Spearman bounces outside and gets a yard or two. He bounced it around the far side. And Alcorn trying to keep the drive alive and eat up as much clock as possible here in the first half. They're already up by 17, and we have another flag on the play. .35 yards on that Norlando Beals catch and run. He's had a couple big ones so far in this game to keep drives alive. And that's
after the foul, we have a dead ball, personal foul, unnecessary roughness on number 92. Defense, 15 yards will be added to the end of the run. First down, Alcorn.
Another mental error, Samuel Reese that time.
And now the frustration's starting to show up. You know, a team that is taking it to you right now. Alcorn's dominated this first half. Grambling yet to get off the bus here in Houston, Texas, but this is what you go through the regular season for. This is where you test your mental fortitude. Broderick Fobbs knows once they get it going, it's going to be very hard to stop Grambling, but they're yet to get it going, and Alcorn State doing a good job of slowing down the pace and tempo of this football game. And right now, when I see Grambling, I see a very frustrated football team.
And remember, the Braves have no timeouts left here in the first half, so they're going to eat as much clock as possible. And here's Spearman trying to find some room up the middle, met by a host of black and white in there for very little gain.
Like Spearman, really do like Silas Spearman. Really like Delance Turner in this football game. If I'm going to run the football on first down, I want Turner. They have not shown they can stop.
We liked him when we saw him early in the postponed game against Bethune-Cookman. They were trying to establish Marquise Wofford, who's out of this game with an injury. But Turner was the guy who gained yardage consistently between the tackles and has the speed to bounce it outside.
Quarterback draw.
And there's Footman trying to get outside, taken down one-handed. That time, nice play by Samuel Reese, it looked like, on the defensive side to bring down the quarterback, so it'll be another 3rd and long situation.
It's time to abandon that play. They've run it 3 times, and the last 2 have been no successes. You get a good look at Marquise Wofford there. They're Mr. Everything from a season ago, receiver, running back, injured. The last 9 games of the year, they've had to adjust without him, and Delance Turner's really started to emerge in his absence.
Also without one of their leading receivers, Jaborian McKenzie. Had 39 catches. He's out with an injury. And here's Footman. In some trouble, gets away, throws it down the middle, up for grabs, caught and dropped. Oh, Michael Ajamobi had that one in his hands for just a second and was looking end zone before he could bring it in.
And this was a great job by the Norris Footman, eluding the tackler, then giving his player an opportunity to make a big play. And it looked as if Ajamobi was going to come away with the huge catch, not able to hold it. But the most impressive players to me have been Turner running the ball and Footman. He stayed composed this whole first half. That's why Alcorn is holding on to a 17-0 lead.
Verlin Hunter back deep to receive this punt from Hayden McCraney, and we got to stoppage of play before we get started. And
prior to the snap, delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So yet another flag here in the first half. We've had plenty, and this might give Hayden McCraney a little bit more of an angle if he's going to try to coffin corner this one. Verlin Hunter averaging 12.8 a return and can be dangerous in that kick return game for Grambling. They have a lot of team speed here, a lot of guys who can break it open in a flash, Verlin Hunter being one of them. High spiraling kick. Will come down in the end zone and be a touchback. And Grambling will take over. And the G-men need to step up. They need points after the 42-yard punt. 17-0. The Braves of Alcorn State in front.
Timeout.
It's the Joseph.
Back in studio, Brennan Fitzgerald standing by for halftime. Kevin Carter joins me. If you've missed anything from the first half of the SWAC Championship, we'll have highlights at halftime. Also an update from Atlanta as Alabama and Florida battle for the SEC title game. That's coming up at halftime. Eric and Jay, back to you.
Shutting out the regular season unbeaten in conference. Guys, thank you very much. We'll see you at halftime, Brendan and Kevin. And if you keep up with SWAC football in 2016, somewhat of a surprise here. Alcorn State's Braves leading Grambling State by 17. Here's Kincaid, the handoff up the middle. And Justin Kelly on the carry there. And Alcorn, 18 minutes, 2 seconds time of possession to Grambling, 6:59. That is just the way you draw it up if you want to keep a high-powered offense off the field.
Yeah, that was by design. That was what they wanted to do coming into this football game. And you talked about the surprise. This is an offense that averages 46 points a game. And right now, they are falling apart. I mean, they're not even close to figuring out this riddle, which is the Alcorn State defense.
And Trey Farrell.
And, you know, it's so easy to say, well, the offense isn't clicking, not doing it. If you ask me, this game is being won at the line of scrimmage. The Grambling offensive line has had trouble with pass protection. They're being exposed right now by Alcorn and not giving Kincaid much time to do anything.
Trey Farrell tackling Kincaid for little or no gain that time. Kincaid in trouble again, trying to get outside. And throws it away for his own life as he's hit close to the out-of-bounds marker. And once again, Grambling is going to go 3 and out, and looks like they have nothing going for them on offense.
Yeah, this is jailbreak football, we call it. I mean, where's it supposed to go? They've got a 3-man rush. They bring in the 4th. Up, time to leave. He's getting 1.5 to 2 seconds to throw the football before he's forced out of the pocket. They have to do a better job with their protection scheme, or else this will continue.
Big Michael Brooks was the guy chasing him on the far sideline. A little low snap, but the punt is gotten off by Wallace, and they wave everybody off of it, and it takes a favorable Alcorn bounce. They're going to take over. Be sure to kick off your Week 13 NFL Sunday with us here on ESPN. Week 13, well, where's the season going? It is going by really fast. 9 a.m. Eastern, NFL Insider Sunday edition with Trey Adam, Louis Riddick, and Mark Dominic with all the early breaking stories and injury news. Then at 10, Sunday NFL Countdown with the Boomer, Trent Dilfer, Charles Woodson, Matt Hasselbeck, Randy Moss, and Wendy Nix. Also there, we'll take you right up to kickoff, also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. So Lenoris Footman, his team with no timeouts, just going to try much of the same. A little ball control, eat up some time, and hopefully add to the scoring. He's going to the near side and has his man, Collins Moore, and Moore shakes out of a tackle and gets it down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line.
It's important for Alcorn to close out this first half effectively. Don't turn the football over, protect the ball, add on to some points if you can, but more importantly, keep that goose egg up there for Grambling going into the halftime. Don't give them any hope.
Can we say enough about Lenoris Footman through this first half? He has engineered this offense almost to perfection. He had one high throw earlier in the game. That's been about it. On the rollout. This one's a high one, but Collins Moore comes down with that on the near side, but we do have a flag at the 39-yard line. Had a little movement on the interior line this time.
Yeah, it was a good job by Antonio Dade. He realized they were offsides.
Defense. That penalty is declined. Second down.
Yeah, gave him a free play. Dade, the senior center we talked about, best offensive lineman, knew that Grambling jumped offside. He snapped the ball right away before they could get back. Good job by Footman getting a free play, and now it's 2nd and short.
13th penalty of the game there, even though that was declined. Seems like we've had a lot more than that here in the first half. But Alcorn trying to keep it going. And a nice hold. DeLance Turner around the corner. And Turner finally brought down at the 13-yard line. And another flag. Flags come in at the end of that play.
Oh, bonehead play. But what a great job by DeLance Turner running the ball. But I think there was a late hit by number 57, Tim Gardner.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, number 57, offense. 15-yard penalty to the end of the run, against the end of the run. First down, Alcorn.
Yeah, that's what you can't do. Great job by Turner. I like what Turner does, which is so smart. Doesn't run out of bounds. He realizes we're trying to eat some clock. No, I'm going to stay in bounds to do it. And then when the play is over, come on. You don't do that, Timothy Gardner. Your team is up by 17. You had a great run by a running back. That's selfish when you hit a guy after the whistle standing around the pile.
And Samuel Reese was victimized by that late hit. A 19-yard run, but mostly negated by the 15-yard penalty. And here's Baker. Aaron Baker going right up the gut and gets it down to about the 23-yard line.
I'm getting emotional on that play because when you take a cheap shot like that on the guy, bad things are going to happen. One, you're going to get flagged, but two, maybe that's what Grambling needs to say, you know what, it's time we wake up and start fighting these guys back.
And we're down to the 2-minute mark here in the first half. Alcorn trying to add to a 17-0 lead. Baker met immediately at the line of scrimmage. And he is brought down for little or no gain in that play. That'll set up third and manageable. Third about 5 or 6.
Alcorn will be content to take their time getting to the line of scrimmage, eat some clock. What a great job by Fred McNair. And I had a chance to talk to him in his first year as a head coach. Said, I didn't realize how much went with the job. I've gotten better as a coach as the season's gone on, and you can tell him and his football team to be one cohesive unit on this huge third down.
And 3rd and 5, Alcorn 2 for 6, but we have more whistles and another flag down. And looks like a preliminary indication false start.
False start, 57, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Coach McNair not too happy about that call. Another one against Timothy Gardner to go along with the late hit that negated a 19-yard run by DeLance Turner. So the clock will run now that they have it reset, and we'll be inside a minute here in the first half. Lenore's Footman with the empty backfield. Footman stepping up in the pocket, stepping out of trouble, and finally hit and driven backwards and hit down on the play. As coming up was Darius Christmas, and they let him do a lot of driving before they blew that whistle. Forward progress had been stopped.
Is this the wake-up call they need from Christmas? This is a statement tackle here. Form tackle, heavenly. He's trying to move his legs, driving through. That's a good play by Darius Christmas. Textbook tackle.
Grambling State, their second, 32nd timeout.
Grambling State taking a timeout, and we're going to get another one in there. Give me 5. You're on number 4 of the great HBCU moments from 2016.
It's been a fantastic HBCU season, but how about this night? Starting the season, Alcorn fans don't want to see this, but Chunkin Duncan, Brandon Duncan, one of the best individual performances we saw. And the one bright spot for Arkansas Pine Bluff this year, Brandon Duncan threw for 505 yards in their surprising overtime victory at the reservation when they defeated Alcorn State. Sent the Braves into a tailspin, but they've come out of it now. But how impressive was Chunkin Duncan in that game?
It was quite impressive, and I just remember the shock amongst a lot of the Alcorn State fans after that was over. A lot of them just sat in the stadium. They couldn't believe what they'd just seen.
And can you believe that's the only game Arkansas Pine Bluff won all season long?
Alcorn going to attempt a 40-yard field goal. McCraney 1 for 1 on the day from 27 yards earlier, and this the edge of his range, and that will be no good. That's going to be wide left.
And you know, I'm overanalyzing right now, but that Timothy Gardner penalty. Great run by DeLance Turner. They were well within field goal range. Moving back 15 yards, take your kicker out of the comfort level, and instead of increasing your lead, you're stuck at 17. It's one of those plays you just can't make.
If you're Coach Fobbs in the Grambling offense, you just take a knee and try to go in and regroup. Don't try to get it downfield and try anything. It does not look like they're in victory formation here. They're going to try to do some things with 1 timeout to go.
Take some short passes maybe, but you can't do too much. You go into halftime and get it going.
And this was Martez Carter going up the middle.
Timeout, Grambling State. Their 3rd timeout, 32nd timeout.
Now, this is a little surprising. You're calling the timeouts after you called the running play.
Remember, Grambling will be receiving the second half kickoff. And receiving the second half kickoff or not, they are going to have to turn some things up.
Game clock to 15 seconds. 1-5.
Game clock being reset at the request of our referee, Rod Holloway. But they are really going to have to get things together. And really, from an announcing standpoint, it's very difficult to pinpoint what's going wrong, except that they're losing the battles at the line of scrimmage. They're not winning on either side of the football.
The offensive line has struggled with the speed from Alcorn's defensive line. This is not a very big defensive line from Alcorn, but they're very active.
And that's a competitor right there. Coach Fred McNair going to try to catch him as he trots off with his team. A little swing pass to Carter. Carter on the near side has great speed, runs into his own man and gets out of bounds across midfield at the 46-yard line. So with 7 seconds to go and a fresh set of downs, you got a chance to at least chuck one toward the end zone and hope something great happens.
And throw it into the end zone. A good job. I question why they called the timeout earlier, where they wanted to design something. Got a lot of yardage on that screen pass. Now I think it's 50-50 ball in the end zone. Because they have no timeout, so they cannot get tackled in play, or else the half will end.
24 yards on that gain by Martez Carter off the quick swing pass. And we have another flag on the play.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 9, offense, 5-yard penalty, remain first down.
So now Broderick Fobbs will see his quarterback work from 5 yards further out. I'm going to imagine that Devontae Kincaid, who has a strong arm, will hoist this one up and try to get a deflection or something in the end zone. Hail Mary, they like to call it. It's caught downfield, but well short of the end zone is Chad Williams on the far side, and that'll do it to end the first half. And Grambling, for the first time this season, shut out in the first half here in the SWAC Championship Game 2016 in Houston, Texas. 17-0. Alcorn State has done everything well, especially win the line of scrimmage in this one. And the two-time defending SWAC champions are looking like they're really serious about number 3 right now.
There was a quiet confidence they had all week, and that translated here on the field. They were basically saying, you all are talking about Grambling, all that they've done, but we're going to play them. We think we can play with these boys, and it's a good job by the Braves.
All right, here's Sherry down on the field with Coach McNair. Sherry?
All right, Coach McNair, one of the keys you said was takeaways. How important was it for you guys to recover that fumble and be able to score first?
That was big for us. We've been talking about that all week. You know, you just got to get takeaways, and I think the defense did a great job of coming up, hitting, tackling, and getting that fumble for us. So I think, you know, we just got to continue to fight and continue to do what we're doing right now.
And in those first 2 quarters, you had almost 200 yards more of total offense. How do you keep this momentum in the second half?
Well, the biggest thing, we just got to go in and settle the guys down right now because the emotion is high right now. We just settle them down and get them doing the thing we should do, you know, execute on offense. And defense playing a heck of a ball game. So we just got to continue to fight.
And any of these injuries that you've had, any concerns?
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right, thanks so much, Coach.
Thanks, man.
All right, Sherry, thank you very much. Halftime festivities about to begin here at NRG Stadium in Houston. Alcorn State, it's the home of the Brave in Houston right now. They're leading 17-0 at the half in the SWAC Championship 2016 over Grambling State.
Is Grambling State going for a win against the Braves of Alcorn State. First quarter, no score. till Lenoris Footman keeps it. So we look at Fred McNair, and his team has it working right now, Kevin.
Lenoris Footman has been dynamic in this first half. Just the quarterback run. The read option is hard to defend. You got to account for the quarterback in the run game, and Grambling doesn't do a good job of it this first half.
Braves up 10-0 more on the ground. This time it's DeLance Turner breaking away, and down the sideline he goes to the end zone. That makes it 17-0, and that is where we stand right now in the SWAC Championship game. What do you think Grambling has to do to get some points on the board and get back in this one?
Well, the first thing they have to do is limit the big plays. I mean, when you look at the third down conversions that Alcorn has had in the first half, they're only 2 for 8 on third downs, which means you're giving up chunk plays. Almost 330 yards of total offense for Alcorn in the first half. They got to find a way to get themselves off the field, but limit those chunk plays, those explosive runs for greater than 10 yards, and those pass plays for over 15 yards. Those are chunk plays that hurt your defense.
Footman more than 150 yards through the air, and Turner has more than 100 yards on the ground for the Braves, and they have a 17-0 lead at halftime. Conference championship weekend. Champions. The world-famed Grambling State University Tiger Marching Band is on the field. Their team trails 17-0 at halftime.
ESPN College Football presented by McDonald's. We are at the half here in the SWAC Football Championship 2016 from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. 17-0 favor of Alcorn State. The Braves have the lead. Up here in the booth along with my man, former NFL quarterback Jay Walker, I'm Eric Clemens. Sherry Burris is down on the field. We'll hear from her in a little bit. But in the first half, talk about controlling the line of scrimmage. Alcorn wanted a couple of things. They wanted to be physical, which they have been the last several weeks. They wanted to find out a way to slow down this Grambling offense, and they've done them both.
Yeah, they have. They won the battle of time of possession, which is what they wanted to do. And the key is they've held this #1 offense in the SWAC to 0 points. How are they able to do that? Devontae Kincaid has been getting pressured all game long. He's thrown for 60 yards, 63 yards in the first half, and it's the offensive line. They're just not protecting. He's always getting pressured out of the pocket, and they're making good open field tackles. They're flashing. He's looking for receivers downfield, and the offensive line for Grambling has just played atrocious in the first half. They have to play better if they want to have a chance at coming back and keeping this dream season alive. It's that simple for Grambling.
And look at the first half numbers. Will back up everything we've been seeing. It's been all Alcorn in this one. Look at the Braves rushing for 173. Remember, the last 4 games in a row, they've run it for 255. And, of course, you had Lenoris Footman taking over at quarterback and playing a large part.
And you won't win a number of football games going 0 for 4 on third down. You have to keep the drive alive, but that's when Alcorn's brought the pressure, forcing the Tigers off the field. This is a horrific performance by Grambling State offensively. There's no other way to say it. They have to find a way to get Kincaid going, and like we said before, it starts with that offensive line.
And 21 minutes, 21 seconds time of possession for Alcorn in that first half to less than 9 for Grambling State. And I tell you what, they've got to reverse that big time here in the second half to have an opportunity. I mean, again, that man has brought his team back from deficits before earlier this season. He can do it again, but they got to change things.
Yeah, and the good news is this offense averages 46 points a game. So if they can just get half of their average in one half of football, they've got a chance at coming back and winning this football game.
Of course, they get possession first here in the second half. They'll be receiving the kickoff to start the third quarter. And Grambling gets a chance to do something offensively to start the third quarter, trailing by 17 here in the 2016 SWAC Championship. Of course, the winner gets invited and goes to the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl coming up in a couple weeks. Kickoff comes down to Carter, and Carter still fighting, reverses his field. Has one man to beat outside and does. Carter still on his feet, finally pushed out of bounds at the 25-yard line. That's the kind of play you needed to get started and get something going here in the third quarter.
And this is a fantastic individual effort by Carter. He had the fumble early in the game. Well, he wants an opportunity to make amends. And watch him cut back against the grain with a hop step. And this juke right here, one cut, goes up there, slides behind the defender. That's a fantastic return. That's the start that the G-men needed to start the second half.
73 yards on the kick return, and you think in the middle of that huddle, coaches are telling them, no turnovers, let's get some points in this game, let's put some pressure for once on Alcorn in this 2016 SWAC Championship.
And I wouldn't waste time trying to establish a game plan here. I would hurry up and throw the football in the end zone. If you get one-on-one coverage with Chad Williams and anybody, give him an opportunity to make a play.
Kincaid, quick swing pass out to Carter, and Carter gets it down to just outside the 20. And Sherry Burris is down on the field. She talked to Coach Broderick Fobbs.
Yeah, guys, I just spoke with him, and he said that he thinks Alcorn is doing a good job of making Kincaid feel uncomfortable. What he needs to do better in the second half is stay out of those second and third and longs and keep the field short.
All right, Sherry, thank you. And that play up the middle goes for nothing, and maybe even a loss. Lindimian Brooks, I believe, coming in on that one, and he was met hard by Ramonte Bell, among others. And so it'll set up third and long, -2 on that run. So a big third down play. 0 for 4 so far in the day on third down. You talked about that earlier at the break.
The great special teams return, but just like Sherry said, Coach Fobbs says he can't put his team in third and long situations. They're bringing pressure, making them feel uncomfortable.
They show blitz. Kincaid in trouble, trying to get outside, still spinning away, but cannot. He is brought down for another sack for Alcorn. That'll be pushed back to the 29-yard line. And
they're not recognizing it, but here's what they're doing. They're stunting here, coming here, delay blitz here, taking the gap, and look at how many white jerseys are blocking nobody on this protection. You whip to let one guy come completely unfree to your quarterback. That's Michael Hearns. You have to see him. He's a middle linebacker. They're not making a Mike call. That's why Kincaid's running for his life.
So now after that great kickoff return, 4th and 14. Kincaid going for it all. End zone, jump ball, got it, touchdown! Berlin Hunter.
Would you rather be lucky? Would you rather be good? Whatever's going to get you through is what they're saying.
Absolutely.
Throws it up for grabs, buys some time, and Berlin Hunter just does a good job of outplaying Eric Foster, the best defensive back on this Alcorn State defense. It's a big play by Hunter with great concentration.
29 yards on the touchdown reception, and the extra point is good.
TV,
Tony Terry Whittington put that through. Grambling getting back into it on that touchdown to start the second half. And welcome to Jimmy V Week for cancer research here on ESPN as we continue our commitment to the V Foundation and Jim Valvano's dream to defeat cancer. Help us beat cancer. Log on to www.jimmyv.org or call 1-800-4-JIMMY-V to donate. All donations benefit the V Foundation for Cancer Research. And after finishing that 4-play, 25-yard drive, the 4th down, 29-yard catch by Berlin Hunter over the outstretched arm of Eric Foster, getting Grambling right back in this one. And the kickoff is a very short one coming down to the 20-yard line. And still on his feet, pushing the pile out to close to the 45-yard line, where Alcorn will take over in pretty good shape, as number 84, Jalen Walker, was the guy, the up man, who caught that kickoff and did a good job getting great field position for the Braves.
Going back to that last touchdown, how close was Grambling to coming away with walking away with 0 points on the scoreboard?
Very close.
Fantastic play. That tells you the sense of desperation they have at Grambling, but they responded well. Now, for one of the few times in this game, Alcorn State offense takes the field with a little bit of pressure on them, trying to recover that touchdown the defense just gave up.
And the handoff that time coming on the near side to DeLance Turner. Turner picked up 3 before he's upended. Lands on the head. Guy Stallworth coming up from that cat position, they call it, to make the game.
And Guy's one of the leaders on this team. Marquez Cooper has all the stats and the NFL talent. Guy Stallworth is a guy that's fast, likes to run and mix it up. You need to call his name a lot if you want to see him slow down this Alcorn running game.
Footman now operating out of the empty backfield on 2nd and 7. Design quarterback run, and that goes nowhere. Having nothing to do with it is Samuel Reese, the big defensive end. And that'll go for a big loss.
See the Alcorn offensive line. See a cut block at the end, but a missed block by the left tackle. Dante Brooks allows Reese to make a big tackle for a loss.
Well, the Grambling State fans making some noise on 3rd and long, 3rd and 12. Footman steps up, fires. That's a little bit short and incomplete. Making a good break on that one was Jameel Jackson, one of their leaders in the secondary. So Grambling keeps the momentum going, forcing the 3 and out.
The 3 and out with the stop, and going to give this offense an opportunity to have the ball back, which is what you want to do. All of a sudden, it seems like the folks from Ruston, Louisiana have showed up. Football team as well with the fans. So now this could set up to be a fantastic second half if Grambling continues to get this early momentum they've got the second half.
Hayden McCraney will strike this one from about his 30. And Martez Carter. And then we get a stoppage in play here, a flag down. Looks like the play clock might have expired, might be a delay.
Prior to the snap. False start. Number 20, offense. 5-yard penalty. Remain 4th down.
So a false start on Alan Bruce, the defensive back. 10th Alcorn penalty in the game.
They need to watch that and be careful right now punting this football to Martez Carter. He hurt you with the big return on the kickoff. We know he's running with the chip on the shoulder ever since that fumble early in the game. Would love to pick up some more return yards with a fantastic return.
Averages 9.4 on punt returns. That one somehow got away, and Carter fielded it off balance and got out across the 30-yard line. Tonight on ABC, it's the 2016 Dr. Pepper ACC Championship game from Orlando. Deshaun Watson and number 4 Clemson take on Virginia Tech with a spot in the college football playoff on the line for the Tigers. Our coverage begins at 8 p.m. Eastern on ABC, also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. So Grambling takes advantage on the last drive because of that.
Carter, this is just a great effort and a great spark coming out of the locker room, showing you his ability to make people miss. Nice cut, and that's what ignited the energy from Grambling, and capped off with a fantastic touch of concentration by Verlin Hunter.
And on 1st down, off right guard is Martez Carter for good yardage on 1st down, about 5 on that one before O.J. O'Neal brought him down.
Now we're starting to see a little bit of hurry-up tempo offense from Grambling.
And the handoff that time, powering his way forward, is Justin Kelly. And Kelly is getting out close to 1st down yardage. We'll see where they spot it. He needed to get to look like just outside the 41, and he did. They are moving the chains. So Grambling starting well again after that 5-yard 2nd down run. And so move the change 1st and 10 from the 42. Nice moves inside that time. And Lindemian Brooks, the 5'8", 165-pound sophomore out of Austin, Texas, gets a couple, make it 3.
See, I like this when they get into these hurry-up formations. Alcorn showing their hand. They're playing just straight man-to-man coverage. So I would keep doing the hurry-up tempo, and if you can get one-on-one with Chad Williams versus defensive back, that's advantage Grambling.
And they come on the blitz, and wide open on the far side is Hunter. And Hunter breaks a tackle along the far sideline. Foot race, and he's pushed out of bounds inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Eric Foster pushed him out and saved a touchdown.
And what I really like about Verlin Hunter, after he made the catch, he knew it was going to be a tough open field tackle. Watch him size up the guy. I'm not going down. Mashed him down, knew there were yards to be had if he could get by the would-be tackler. That was running with the purpose after the catch.
31 yards on the catch and run. Now, running a guy over is a truck. What was that?
Mash.
A mash.
He mashed him into the turf.
A mash. Okay, a quick swing out and getting the corner. That time is Martez Carter, but we do have a flag on the play. And with the
holding, 78 offense, 10 yards from the previous spot. First down.
I didn't see it. I saw the play happen. Trent Scott did a great job of just walling off his guy. Take a look at Scott on your left side. This is him. He's going to come and do a seal block here and get out the way. He puts his hands up in the air. He gets around him and then just walls him. Come on.
Maybe he thought that he got too much shoulder pad when he pulled him out. I have no idea, but it is a holding penalty and a big one at that. Inside of 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter with Justin Kelly. Stepping up in the pocket, going for it all again. A jump ball caught. Down in the corner, Chad Williams. And it'll be first and goal, Grambling, and why wouldn't you do that every play?
Like we said, if you can get one-on-one with Chad Williams, give him an opportunity. He's an NFL wide receiver, still playing college football. Throw it up for grabs, and this is where the ball skills come in. High school basketball player, very good hoopster, dominating on the football field, bringing the basketball skills in the play.
Javen Morrison. Now we got flags on the play that time, 33 yards. On that jump ball, back judge throws a flag down in the end zone.
Illegal substitution. Defense, 12 men in a formation. Half the distance to the goal. Remain first down.
So they move it a little closer. They'll spot it at about the half-yard line now.
It's time to get a ball to 5'11", 240-pound Justin Kelly in the backfield. Power football.
And right now he doesn't appear. Oh, there he is back there. He's one of 3 backs now in the backfield with Devontae Kincaid. And this is Lindemian Brooks, touchdown off the left side, and all of a sudden 2 possessions. And Grambling right back in this one at 17-13, pending the extra point.
Unfurl the G. When they score touchdowns, they unfurl the G in the student section behind the goal post and get it going. This is just speed to the edge. Getting around the edge. You knew he only needed a yard. Good job. And that is the G. So they unfurl the G. They bring it out for touchdown scores, and they hope to see a lot of that G in the second half.
Abubakar Kante coming on for the extra point, taking over for the injured Jonathan Wallace. And there's not a lot of leg behind it, but it gets through. So we got a 3-point game after 2 Grambling possessions here in the third quarter for the SWAC Championship 2016.
Remember when Christmas was magical? Let's get back there at Bass Pro Shop Santa's Wonderland, where kids can get a...
We're back here at NRG Stadium in Houston. Let's take a look now at tonight's Bringing a Flavor, brought to you by McDonald's. It's been all that and then some. 17-14 now as Grambling has chipped away at that 17-point deficit at the half, and Conte again a short kickoff. And they'll get it out to the 34-yard line on the return. Now that last drive, 5 plays, 69 yards, taking 3:01. Brooks on the 1-yard TD run. And it's set up by the kind of jump ball up there to Verlin Hunter to get him down close.
A couple interesting things. We saw that injury to Wallace, the kicker for Grambling earlier. Well, now they've got Conte in, who's their third-string kicker. We saw him on kickoffs, not very deep. Don't think they're going to have the ability to go for any field goals. He barely made the extra point. So Grambling offense, a little bit more stress put on them where they need to score touchdowns and first downs.
All right, now, so you know one of the things that Coach McNair and all of his assistants over there are saying, let's settle it down. Let's continue to control the line of scrimmage as we did in the first half. In the second half, Alcorn State minus 2 yards so far, their third possession. Footman on the pitch. Turner tried to cut back, but there to greet him was Blaine Winston and Donovan McCray. Donovan McCray, the defensive player of the year in the SWAC, was there first to meet him. A loss of 3.
And good to see Blaine Winston back in this football game for Grambling. Left the first half with an injury. And, you know, I always mark a good coach by what they do in the second half. Halftime adjustments. And Robert Probst has proven he's a good coach because whatever he said to Grambling, offensively and defensively in the locker room, they're taking heed to his words.
And the slant pattern, Footman fires that one in there and has his receiver, Ladarian Davis. And Davis on the quick slant gets it out close to the 40-yard line, set up third and manageable.
Yeah, but don't get away from what got you here. They said they wanted to run the football between the tackles, eat some clock. They did a great job in the first half. Yet to see them really attack the running game with DeLance Turner here in the second half.
Silas Spearman, the back set to the right of Lenoris Footman on 3rd and 4. Footman looking near side, has his man first down yardage and then some across midfield into Grambling territory is Jalen Walker, and they'll move the chains.
Nice time and protection. The 3-man rush does not get there, allows the receiver to find the second hole in the zone coverage. And I'm not seeing cohesiveness between the linebackers and the defensive backs. The corners are playing too far off in third down situations, allowing the underneath route to hurt them.
Trying to get the corner. That time was Silas Spearman, and he does get around the corner, picks up about 3 for Samuel Reese. The first team all-conference defensive end brings him down, and we have an injured Grambling player on the field. It looks like Darius Christmas, number 5, who lay down at about the 46-yard line. We have called Christmas's name a lot in this game. He's been very, very active as one of the backup Mike linebackers on this defense.
So Christmas is from Vicksburg, Louisiana. I have to think that can't be that far away from Vicksburg, Mississippi, right? Never heard of Vicksburg, Louisiana.
No, I couldn't tell you that. I don't know that geography in that area. But I would figure it would be close. Looks like they might have been attending to a possible cramp. Christmas has 3 tackles, a sack, and a tackle for loss.
Well, I apologize. He's from Vicksburg, Mississippi.
Okay, all right.
Now, if he's from Vicksburg, Mississippi, you know, that's Alcorn territory. So
right.
No wonder he was real fired up for this game all in the first half. And a little thing, like you see that picture there with the team, one thing you'll notice, and that was an Eddie Robinson tradition, Grambling's never had names on the back of their uniforms. So the G is signature and no names. It was always Tigers. And that's one of those things where he always went back to, he and Joe Paterno had that in common, where you knew that no individual was bigger than the university.
On 2nd and 8, after the injury stoppage, Lenoris Footman with Spearman to his left. Footman sidelining that one, knocked away, making a nice play on the ball. That time was Jatarius Pouncey, the cornerback.
He's got time in the pocket. Nice break on the ball by Pouncey. He's a nickel back, but they bring in nickel situations to play wide receiver. But don't get away from what got you here, Alcorn. Run the ball. Make it a phone booth game. They're coming out trying to throw a lot. That's not the game plan. You can't exchange passes with Grambling State.
Bunch formation to Footman's right. Steps up in the pocket, has time, throws, and a strike.
What a catch.
Downfield to his wide receiver, Norlando Veals, and keep moving the chains. It's inside the 35 after a gain of 13.
What a catch. And the thing is, because there's no pressure on Footman, he's able to step into every throw with pinpoint accuracy. Very tight window, great coverage, but just a better catch by Norlando Veals.
Diamante Johnson was all over the receiver on that coverage. And here's a hand up the middle. And boy, almost breaking into the secondary for big yardage was going to be DeLance Turner. But instead, he picks up solid yardage on first down to the 30.
He's been doing that all game. 119 yards in the first half. Let him continue. Force Grambling to show they can stop the run.
Here's Turner again, this time nothing, as he tries to sidestep a tackle in the hole and could not escape.
Now,
that time, and that was Darius Christmas again.
Now, how do you stop the run? Look, this is something you have to get out as a quarterback. Look at all these bodies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a defensive in here. 8. You can't run the ball that way. You got to go away from it. They ran into the teeth of the defense. There was nothing there.
This is a big third down play here with inside 4.5 to go in the third quarter.
Time to blitz Footman. They don't do it.
And they got to him. Ball is loose. Grambling has it. Samuel Reese on the recovery. He also punched him out of there from Lenoris Footman. And Reese showing why he's first team all-conference at defensive end on that play.
Yeah, the best pass rusher for Grambling. Watch him come get the strip sack and then the wherewithal to get back into play and recover the fumble. That's his sack number 8.5 for Samuel Reese. 11th tackle for a loss on the season. And what a big play by the senior from Center Point, Alabama.
Trying to extend their scoring streak here in the third quarter. And that is Justin Kelly. And Kelly up the middle for good yardage, pulling away from tackles. And he got it across the 40 to the 43. Swings one to the far side, has a man, stays on his balance, and gets it across midfield to the 46-yard line as Chad Williams showing some stuff after the catch.
And they figured out that little delayed blitz that gave them trouble in the first half when Michael Hearns was running free to Kincaid. They just brought that same blitz. The Grambling Tigers offensive line picked up the blitz, gave Kincaid time to get the ball to Williams, and Williams showed you what he can do after the catch.
Williams picking up 9 to move the chains. 1st and 10 from the 47 of Alcorn. And we get some movement.
False start. 74 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Justin Miller, first team all-conference at right tackle, 6'5", 278-pounder out of Ruston, Louisiana. Moved a little bit early. So now to be 1st and 15, and now another whistle. And they hadn't placed it in the right spot.
Please reset the game clock to 25 seconds. Thank you.
And after a reset of the play clock, here's Devontae Kincaid stepping up in trouble. Down he goes. all the way back at the 41-yard line, and yet another sack by this Alcorn defense. Ramonte Bell, one of those in there to collect the 6th sack of the afternoon for the Braves.
And surprised because the protection is here. You're going to see the running back stuff the blitzing linebacker. They have that figured out. As a quarterback, you have to know, I've got time. I cannot take a sack in that situation, particularly 10 yards deep. I'm going to put that on Devontae Kincaid because they made the adjustment with the blocking scheme.
So as a quarterback, you're saying check down on that or throw that away?
Throw it away.
Okay. Quick swing. Far side. Still on his feet, battling tacklers, and a great effort that time by Justin Kelly. And Kelly gets it out close to the 45, make it 44-yard line, and we have an injured player on the field for Alcorn, Javen Morrison, number 45, limping a little bit.
They're trying to wave him off.
Alcorn.
But you have to leave. Once they blow that whistle to acknowledge there was some sort of injury, you have to come off. And now in a passing situation, Morrison, the freshman, who's been a pleasant surprise for them, has to leave the field in this situation. And they bring in number 1, Diego Sama, who's had his struggles playing cornerback this season.
And again, we talked about it earlier. They have had some guys open in one-on-one coverage deep down the field. You might see another jump ball thrown by Devontae Kincaid here.
They're being sneaky. They move Chad Williams into that slot, trying to get him a matchup versus safety. He's the most dangerous man right now.
Kincaid. Oh, brought down on a horse collar tackle, and a flag comes down. Michael Brooks makes the tackle, but I think he's going to be penalized for a horse collar.
Yeah, and I don't think he knows it yet. He's still celebrating.
Personal foul, horse collar. Number 94 on the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
And talk about a momentum changer.
Yeah, they were getting the ball back. He's got him. Leaves his feet. That's horse collar. When you grab him high, you must stay high and bring the tackle. You cannot use any of your weight or body parts to bring down the ball carrier.
That is a huge penalty because Grambling was in trouble facing long yardage situations after a couple of losses and penalties, and now they got a fresh set of downs at the 41-yard line of the Braves. That's Justin Kelly right up the middle, gets it to the 37-yard line after a pickup of 4.
But if I was Grambling, I would still continue to challenge the secondary of Alcorn State. I mean, we see guys that are getting open downfield. It's just a matter of protecting Kincaid enough. Really impressed with the strength of this team, which is the wide receivers from Grambling. You should get them the football a little bit more.
Kelly throws it underneath, has a wide open receiver on the far side, tries to make a move and break a tackle, could not. Nice open field play that time. Looked like Eric Foster back there. Well, that could have been disastrous had he gotten away from that tackle.
Well, that was a little NFL versus NFL right there. Both these guys will be playing next year on Sundays. Foster, extremely gifted guy that can play safety and corner, 6'3", 195 pounds, showing you a fantastic open field tackle versus NFL prospect Chad Williams.
And that is the end of the third quarter. Alcorn State clinging to a 3-point lead, but Grambling is driving as we enter the final 15 minutes. Starting the fourth quarter here at NRG Stadium in Houston, Grambling on the move, 3rd and short, trailing by 3. Grambling has scored the last 14, won the total yardage battle in the third quarter 111-27, and won the scoring 14-zip. Key 3rd and short. Carter up the middle. He'll have first down yardage and more inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Let's not forget, for Grambling, I think from here on, it's 4-down territory. They're not going for field goals because their starting kicker is out. So if you're Grambling, it's one of those luxuries to know what you're going to do if you get a 4th down situation. So they were willing to take the conservative play call, run the ball straight ahead, try to pick up the first down.
And with all the skilled players that they have, it is tough to imagine stopping them 4 downs. picking up at least 10 yards and moving those chains. That's a tough task for any defense. Alcorn has to be up to it right now. Michael Hearns making the tackle on Carter on that run.
Make an adjustment to the running back position, but don't know if they're going to be able to just run the ball into the end zone. I think sooner or later they're going to have to throw the ball up in the air and get it to some of their playmakers at wide receiver.
Kincaid, they pick up the blitz and he goes over the middle, a little behind his intended receiver, Chad Williams, that time, and incomplete. There on the coverage was O.J. O'Neal, as well as Daniel Franklin in the secondary for Alcorn. So another key third down play coming up.
And what you do here for Kincaid, you do not take a sack. Don't risk it at all. If it's fourth down, they're still going to go for it because they can't kick a field goal.
Grambling completing 45% coming into this game on third
down.
Don't
take a sack. Don't
Hearns.
take a sack. Don't take a sack. You cannot take a sack in that situation. Trying to do a little bit too much, where if you throw the ball away, you get another play.
7th sack for Alcorn that time. Michael Hearns.
That's that delayed blitz. They pick it up a little bit. They flash a little bit, but that's a situation where you cannot take that sack if you're Devontae Kincaid. And he's going to the sideline knowing that it's on him. My fault, Coach. I should not have done that.
And Coach talked about him a little bit. He is supremely confident, so much so that sometimes he'll do things like that and try to make a play on his own because he's so used to being able to do it.
Yeah, you know, it's confident in your athleticism. He can run away from most people on the field, but you can't run away from a good defense that has you surrounded.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, remain 4th down.
Let's give credit to this Alcorn State defense. They came up with the stop.
And again, with the injury to Jonathan Wallace out there, it looks like Derek Dixon, 5'10", 205-pound junior, has been pressed into duty. No pressure on him at all as he angles it toward the side and gets that one more off the side of his foot than anything else. And that won't net them too many, as it'll be marked out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. 3-point game here early in the 4th. We'll be back.
Now,
3-point ball game. Alcorn about to take over after the 13-yard punt. We've been doing gimme fives. The HBCU plays the year all game. Time for number 3.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the best HBCU play, but for the moments, you have to give it up to the all-time leader in the Mid-East Athletic Conference. His performance versus Hampton on Thursday Night Football, he showed why he's one of the best runners in the history of HBCU football. Dominating performance, over 200 yards rushing for 3 of his games during the regular season. Tariq Cohen rushed for over 300. And how about this one? The gear, like he was shot out of a cannon, going 94 yards. I think we and I both agree he provided plenty of highlights this 2016 campaign in HBCU football.
Alcorn has to turn it around. Their last 5 possessions, 3 punts, a fumble, and a missed field goal. Yet they still lead by 3 here in the 4th quarter with 13 minutes to go. Footman, wide open, Norlando Beals. And Beals down the far side is finally knocked out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds at the 49-yard line. And nobody was anywhere near him when he caught that ball coming across the middle.
Yeah, I mean, just a crossing route, and they just don't pick him up. You see him there. Oh, they picked him. Nice, well, it's not called a pick, it's a rub. A rub right there on the crossing route. Grambling gets caught in the wash. 1st down, Braves.
Give him 22 on that play.
Still wouldn't get away from running the football. You want to milk some clock. Grambling only has 6 guys in the box. You should be able to pick up some yards running.
This is Baker, and then immediately spins off tackles, bounces to the outside. And Baker showing great effort that time, getting 1st down yardage inside the 40 to the 38.
This is an inspired football team. I mean, all corners come out, and they're not backing down from Grambling. I mean, this is all effort. They don't wrap his legs. You must wrap the legs of a ball carrier. Nobody goes low. Aaron Baker Picks up a big first down.
And Baker, plenty of room off the far side again, turns the corner and gets inside the 25-yard line. Well, they're going to mark him out of bounds. They say he stepped out at the 25, but another big run off the left side for Aaron Baker.
You start hearing that song, that means bad things are happening for the opposing team. And we talked about the first half difference was controlling the line of scrimmage. Nice drive thus far by the Braves, controlling the line of scrimmage for the running game.
Now Lance Turner back in the game in the backfield to the right of Lenore's Footman. Last 3 plays, they picked up 47 yards. And this is Lance Turner, and Turner gets inside the 25 to about the 22 before he's brought down by DeAndre Hogues.
And he almost broke that one. And once again, you're starting to see 75, 66, 72. The offensive line for Alcorn is really starting to make a difference, opening up the running game.
Remember, that offensive line lost 4 starters from the SWAC Championship team of 2015. And moved D'Antonio Dade from left tackle to center to be the anchor of that line, and they played pretty well so far in this game. Here's DeLance Turner once again pounding it off right guard, and he gets inside the 20 to the 19.
And see, I like that, because when they can run and you load the box and they still can pick up positive yards, 3rd and 3 right now, that's an offensive line dictating what's happening in the passing game. Right now, you have your whole playbook open to you because the big fellas up front are getting the job done. Running backs are getting over 4 yards a carry. Now, if you're Grambling, you have to bring an extra guy into the line of scrimmage, which leaves you more vulnerable in your pass secondary.
3rd down and 4. And wide open.
Oh, he
my
dropped
goodness.
it. He dropped it. Oh, no.
Michael Ajumobi is the loneliest man in the building right now.
Oh, they set him up. Second time he's had a chance to make a huge catch in this game, and he dropped it. Got his hands going the wrong way. See, once that right hand comes up first, that's wrong. You have to caress that ball in there. And wow. You see the coach tell him, you had your hands going the wrong way. He got inverted. Couldn't concentrate. Would like to see his teammates try to pick him up, but what a huge drop.
I tell instead, Chris Taylor just sent me a note. That is not a Sports Center top 10 moment.
Oh, that is not.
4th down.
And then they take a delay of game, which pushes them back 5 yards on this field goal.
And remember, Hayden McCraney's range, the edge of his range is about where he's going to be kicking this from, somewhere between 40 and 47 yards. This will be a 41-yard attempt, but certainly not automatic. He's 2 of 4 from this distance coming into the game this season. And that one started left, went outside the upright, and then came back in, just like one of my golf shots. It's good. 41 yards, and Alcorn State leads it by 6 with 9:48 to go. We'll be back. Alcorn gets a field goal of 41 yards, but that man is inconsolable right now. Michael Ajumobi drops what would have been a touchdown pass. He was wide open, nobody within 15 yards of him.
It's been a long 3 minutes during the commercial break, and you see he does have a cast on his hands right there, but he inverted his hands the wrong way, which really made that catch even that much more difficult, particularly with a cast. You're not going to make it. But to his defense, he's got 1 catch on the season. It's not like he's a regular pass receiver making catches. He does play tight end, but mostly used for blocks. But 1 catch on the season, his second could have been huge.
Instead, they get a 7-play, 49-yard march that ends with the McCraney 41-yard field goal.
Pooch kick.
And a little pooch kick, and it'll go out of bounds before anybody can make a play out of it. A flag is on the play, of course.
kick out of bounds on the kicking team. 5 yards will be added to where the ball went out of bounds. First down, Grambling State.
Okay, our Week 13 Monday Night Football matchup has Andrew Luck and the Colts taking on Brandon Marshall and the Jets at MetLife Stadium. 8:15 Eastern right here on ESPN. Our coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown, served up by Applebee's at 6, also streaming live on Watch ESPN. Should be an interesting one. Colts 5-6 and trailing the 6-6 Titans in the AFC South. And here's Devontae Kincaid, a quick swing. Martez Carter has room on the far side. And Carter dragged down and held on to for dear life by Myshawn Smith, or he could still be running.
Just have a feeling this is going to be a great ending in this football game. One way or the other. Nice quick screen out, makes a cut, and possibly a touchdown-saving tackle by Alcorn State's Myshawn Smith.
13 yards on that catch and run. And going for it all, Chad Williams downfield, and it's incomplete. And a nice play made coming back on that one by Javen Morrison, the freshman, true freshman, who Coach McNair calls a diamond in the rough. The guy who's been very, very surprising for them in his freshman season.
The very first pass that Morrison saw in his career thrown his way, he intercepted, ran it for a touchdown. They're showing good ball skills, but Chad Williams elevated and almost made a spectacular catch.
Martez Carter is the back behind Devontae Kincaid on 2nd and 10. And Carter blasts through a hole up the middle and gets about 7 on the play before Darian Anderson brought him down. So again, without a field goal kicker much, I mean, you got to be getting to the point in the game where you start thinking about 2 down or 4 down territory around in here.
Yeah, if you can avoid the sacks on 3rd down. Now what you have to do is use Alcorn's aggressiveness against them. They like to blitz on 3rd down, and you have this type of look. Keep a guy in the block, go for over the top, hit him with a home run ball.
And Kincaid
has got
buying some time. He can run for it if he wants, and he will. Inside the 40, inside the 35, and upended out of bounds right there. And Devontae Kincaid was looking for something really big, but decided to play it smart and keep it, pull it down and run for it. So they'll move the chains for Grambling. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 33-yard line. And Daniel Franklin is the man down at the 40. That was a 9-yard scramble for Kincaid. We're going to take a break as they attend to Franklin on the field at the 40-yard line. 8:27 to go in this one. Alcorn State by 6.
The 2016 SWAC Football Championship is presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
They're back. Night has fallen here in Houston, Texas, and we got a good one. Grambling on the move, trailing by 6 for the 2016 SWAC Championship. The winner will go on to Atlanta, Georgia, December 17th for the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl, 2nd annual edition. Alcorn trying to make its 2nd straight trip to that contest. Grambling trying to end the Braves' 2-year SWAC championship run.
Bunch formation, top of the screen, trying to disguise the location of Chad Williams.
Stacked up that time by Darian Anderson on the run, and that was Martez Carter. And he picked up maybe 1.
And Anderson's played well of a ball game, really stuffing the run.
Kincaid buys some time, now throwing wide open over the near side, and staying on his feet is Carter. Carter inside the 5, and recovered.
Wow.
Touchdown. Dominique Leak was Johnny on the spot to catch that one in midair and take it to the house. 1 yard.
This almost looked like a forward pass for the fumble that goes, that's caught up the air. Great job of escaping. But right at the end, he shows tremendous balance. Ball gets punched out in great concentration. As you mentioned, by Dominique Leak with the touchdown and with an extra point, which is no gimme. Grambling can take the lead.
And Abubakar Kante is going to come on to attempt the extra point, but as with all scoring plays, they're going to review. And with 7:25 to go, we're tied. Again, the ball punched out from behind, and Dominique Leak is right there at the 1-yard line to catch it and just dance into the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, this play has to stand. It's not like he pitched it forward. I thought at first he had pitched the ball forward to his guy, but this was not. It was punched out from behind. So you'll see 32 punch it out. So this play's going to stand. I thought the same thing. Why did he pitch it to him forward? He did not. This will be a touchdown. That's a lot of pressure on Conti right now, this extra point.
Stacy Garner was the one coming back from that defensive end position to run it all the way down and punch it out from behind. Got to check it and make sure everything is right, but quite obvious that Garner punched that out from the back, and Dominique Leak was there, and quite lucky and thankful. And like you said earlier, would you rather be lucky or good? That time you're lucky.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed of a score.
So now Abubakar Kante, who has been somewhat adventurous on his extra point tries, filling in for Jonathan Wallace, will try to give Grambling its first lead of the contest. Blocked, and they scoop it up. Ramonte Bell, one man.
Oh, why would you stay on the sideline? I understand that, but no point in going out of bounds.
There is a flag on the play as well.
We mentioned this was going to be no gimme on the extra point. We knew that. You got your third string kicker in the game.
During return of an advancement of a block field PAT attempt, we have a personal foul, tripping, number 37 of the kicking team. 15 yards will be assessed on the kickoff.
So Ramonte Bell, a 6', 246-pound junior, got to the sidelines and got a little convoy, but was tripped up. Of course, Grambling with that score has outscored Alcorn 20-3 here in the second half, and we are tied.
And you're going to see the bobbled snap, not a lot of elevation on that kick. Bell actually blocked it, number 50. That's his arm that gets through because it's a very low kick. And then look at the effort. Watch number 3 on this return. O.J. O'Neal gets all the way from behind in front, but that's a great job by Conti. You'll take the tripping penalty in this situation to prevent the touchdown the other way.
What a wild ending to a 6-play, 62-yard drive on Leak's 2-yard TD run after the fumble recovery. And it'll make you wonder what they may do in extra point situations from here on out. Will they just line up and go for 2?
Yeah, I'm at that point saying this game's not coming down to extra points. It's going to be touchdowns. And the advantage goes to Alcorn. They still have the ability to kick a field goal.
Quentin Geis, wide receiver, freshman, is on the kickoff, very short. So Alcorn will have great field position. They'll get the ball at the 48-yard line. Now tonight, after a busy day in college football, it's SportsCenter at night with our good friend Scott Van Pelt. He'll have all the gridiron highlights from Championship Saturday, Tigers' third round at the Hero World Challenge, as well as the NBA, NHL, college basketball highlights, NFL news, and everything else from a packed Saturday. SportsCenter at night after San Diego State, Wyoming, also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. So with an all-conference kicker down, advantage Alcorn in any kickoff type situations with just about anybody being thrown in there. And they got the ball near midfield. And great field position for Lenore's Footman and company. Off the fake jet sweep, here's Footman trying to get outside, and maybe he picked up one as he swallowed up on the far side.
And at this point, it's tie game, and if you're Alcorn, this is a position you want to be in. If you could have said coming into this game you'd be tied with the number 14 team in FCS football with 6 minutes to go and the ball in your hands, midfield, you take that. But then you say, how would you break the tie? And Norris Footman's going to have to make a couple throws. They're selling out with their pass coverage. They're saying, we're going to play one-on-one. You're not going to beat us running the football. You're going to have to throw. So Footman needs to step up and make some nice throws.
And this is Spearman trying to get the corner. That goes nowhere.
Yeah.
As that big defensive end, the first team all-conferencer Samuel Reese was there closing down the edge.
Yes, schematically, you can't run that type of play in that situation. They're saying throw the football, and when you run it to the boundary, then they're just going to push you out of bounds, which is going to stop the clock. So as great a game as Footman has played, it's all changed now. If you're not going to run to Lance Turner, you need your quarterback to make some plays. And the good thing for Alcorn fans is he's battle-tested and experienced.
Loss of 2 on that run effort. Big third down at 10. Footman under some pressure. Down he goes at the 33-yard line. The sack by big Blaine Winston, the 6'4", 294-pound graduate student out of Monroe and a transfer from Louisiana Lafayette. Grambling's 4th sack of the game.
And Footman locked in on a receiver. They tried to run that rub play where he had the 2 wide receivers cross again. Watch this linebacker do a fantastic job of recognizing the crossing routes and getting into play. He looks, he says they're crossing, jumps the route, nowhere for Footman to go with the football. That's great recognition of reading your keys by Arquez Cooper, number 54, the linebacker.
Verlin Hunter standing back at about his 23. That's going to bounce well short and be down at the 28-yard line. We are all tied up. The SWAC Championship and the berth in the Celebration Bowl on the line. Welcome back to Houston, 20-20, 5:21 to go in the battle for the 2016 SWAC Championship. Interesting development for Grambling there. All-conference kicker Jonathan Wallace goes down on that play.
It twisted that right ankle, which as a kicker you have to have. He's a right-footed punter and field goal kicker. So now Coach Broderick Fobbs forced to use his 3rd-string kicker. They've had struggles.
Forced to use some other people. Here's Martez Carter turning the corner, turning on the Jets, and a touchdown saving tackle that time by Michael Hearns, or Martez Carter would still be going down the near sideline.
And what a tale of 2 halves for Martez Carter. Started off this game with the fumble, but that was so long ago. He's been running with an edge this second half, and he's been a difference maker for Grambling State offensively.
22 yards on that first down carry for Carter, who remains in the game. And he'll line up to the left of quarterback Devontae Kincaid. Now moves to the right in the shift. And Carter again off the right side, cuts it back, has some more room. Carter gets inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. And another big gain as Hearns brought him down once again.
He's starting to feel it. He's toting the rock. But there is added pressure on your offense knowing you have to score a touchdown because you can't do a field goal. So nice relief with the running game. Carter some big runs, but for Grambling, you have to be thinking we've got to get into the end zone. We cannot go for a field goal.
Give him 15 on that first down run. And on the jet sweep, cutting back this time and spun down by Darian Anderson is Dominique Leak. And Leak picked up about 3 on that first down play. And it'll be called a completed pass. The shovel kind for 3 yards on that first down play. But Grambling inside of 4 minutes with a bit of an advantage here. Trying to bounce it outside, and he does. Carter. Carter has room. Carter, touchdown.
He hit it out the park. You can take that baseball swing. What a fantastic run on the individual effort by Martez Carter.
31 yards on the score, and Grambling has the lead.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say they've got him right here. They have him. They have him again, but he would not go down. He is running with the chip on his shoulder in the second half. Finishes off the run by getting into the end zone with a touchdown.
And they're not going to go for 2. They're going to go with Boubacar Kante again, trying to hit the extra point. And he punched that one through. So, Grambling in total control here in the second half of the SWAC Championship. Martez Carter putting them up by 7. SWAC trophy and its journey into NRG Stadium for our AT&T Inside Access. There it is, making its way in earlier today. The long journey into where it's going to be locked away, and very anxious security guard getting some FaceTime on TV right here. I'm guarding this with my life. And now it's going to make its way down the tunnel and will be presented to one of these teams in another 3 minutes and 38 seconds as they polish it up. Right now, Grambling with an explosive second half in which they've scored 27 points. And another very short kickoff line drive comes down to the 25. And it'll be a return to about the 33-yard line. And now with more on that trophy, let's go down to the third member of our broadcast team, Sherry Burr. Sherry?
Well, guys, this is exactly what these two teams are playing for, the SWAC Championship Trophy. We know Alcorn won the last 2 years, but when we spoke to Grambling, they said they wanted a chance to get back here and beat the defending champions. And if you look at this way, these two women, they have the offensive and defensive MVP awards. We're going to see at the end of this game who gets to take all of this hardware home.
All right, Sherry, thank you. Fans, tune in to ESPN3 for the post-game trophy ceremony immediately following this contest.
And let's not forget the all-important invitation to the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl goes to the winner of this football game as well.
And Norlando Viels had cut inside, and he was open, but Lenore's Footman threw that one a little bit high, and it's incomplete. Second down and 10.
And remember, we said he's going to have to make some throws for them to win this football game. The game plan changed probably 6.5 minutes ago, and now it lies solely on Footman's decision with the football. I don't think you have enough time to start running to Lance Turner once again. You took the wheels off of him a while ago.
Second and 10. Footman, pressure, escapes it. And now he's going to keep it. There's going to be a flag on the play. And Footman gets it out close to the 40-yard line, but Grambling players seem to be indicating that they're going to bring this one back.
Holding, 72, offense. 10 yards from the previous spot, second down.
Fred McNair not happy about that. LaDon Bolden, 6'2", 292-pound fifth-year senior out of Jackson, Mississippi, committing a key holding penalty that time.
Long time to protect when you've got a quarterback that's dancing around in the pocket. And Alcorn just not able to get back on track here in the second half. And you just hate to think it goes back to that drop pass by Ajumobi.
15 penalties against the Braves. That's a season high for them. Footman firing down the middle again, a little bit high, and we got a very late hit and maybe even an interception off the deflection. Let's see what they rule it. They do rule it Grambling football. And on the interception, Jameel Jackson Number 33 off the deflection. I was looking at the big hit.
Should have been a targeting.
Right, I thought it might be a targeting penalty on that big hit as the receiver crossed midfield. And on the deflection, it is intercepted by Jameel Jackson.
The previous play is under review of an interception by the defense.
Well, there'll be a lot of things taking a look here. They'll look at the interception which occurred way downfield after the deflection. But look, is this a defenseless receiver here? Oh, man. Fortunate, that looks bad. It looks like the Grambling defender that came over for the hit. Is that?
Yeah, and Orlando Veals was the intended target. It looked like it might have been Darius Christmas coming in from the backside who delivered the big hit. Still hard to read the number of the Grambling player who was injured down at the 36-yard line, being attended to by several medical staff down there, and let's hope that's not too serious.
Yeah, that was a collision, and they were fortunate they weren't called for targeting. Now they're taking a look to see if the interception was made.
After further review, the ruling on the field of an interception is confirmed. First down, Grambling State.
And with that right there.
You always hate to see the other team kneeling on the sideline. That seems to be an indication of a serious injury. And again, we certainly don't want to speculate from up here as to what it might be. Big collision as Orlando Veals was the intended receiver of the high throw by Footman at about the 36-yard line. But a lot of applause as the player is now sitting up, and I was correct, it is Darius Christmas.
And I think it was friendly fire. You know, the receiver went up, was defenseless. Christmas was coming in trying to make a hit, and I thought Guy Stallworth was as well. Still go back to Grambling. Fortunate they didn't get called for targeting, which I thought would have been justified had they called it.
He was so high in the air, it looked like the hit he took was in the middle back area, and maybe that's why he escaped the targeting penalty. It didn't appear to lead with any part of the helmet.
Yeah, but you know, with targeting, the rule is a defenseless player.
Right.
You can't hit a defenseless player.
Sherry Burris on the sideline with more on this play. Sherry?
Behind the Grambling bench right now, and his teammates are all meeting him on the field. Guys are still just walking around, but it's a very jovial sort of feel, except there is a sense of seriousness after that player just went down and had so much medical attention.
All right, Sherry. And Grambling, a big turnover after all of that we witnessed. Grambling does have the ball now as we approach the 3-minute mark. And both teams with their full complement of timeouts. So
it's time to use them right now.
No gain there on that first down run by Lindemian Brooks.
Alcorn, their first 30-second timeout.
So if you force them to use at least 2 timeouts here and get a first down, you'll run down a lot of the clock here. Now, we've been paying off this Gimme 5, the whole deal, the HBCU Plays of the Year. Where are we at, number 2?
Well, number 2, we talked about Tariq Cohen all season long, but I think Leonard Tillery's season in the SWAC, rushing for over 1,600 yards in this conference, which was a fantastic job, game-breaking type performance. And when you talk about number 1, what was number 1? Well, I'm going to go with a play. At the end of the day, you want football players to make plays. And how about this play by North Carolina Central's Khalil Stinson? Full speed in a game that mattered, had everything on the line, one-handed, behind the back, left-handed. That catch was sick, man. You got to give him that. You can't make a catch any better than that. That was the defining moment for me, the play of the year in HBCU college football.
He never even put the other hand on the football. He was so confident that he was going to hold it with that big left hand. It was an incredible catch. Here's Kincaid running out of time and just throws that one away smartly. Before he would take his
not smart.
Not smart.
They're playing the clock right now. Incomplete pass, clock stops.
Oh, so you would have taken a sack?
Enter a timeout
once you got
on
there,
the defense.
You just run forward. He kept holding. It's like you take a drop, you realize it's not there, then you run forward towards the line of scrimmage.
And we have another injured player on the field. Looks like Stacy Gardner, the defensive end of Alcorn, down at the 46-yard line.
Gardner been playing well for this team. And you have to give credit to that senior class they had at Alcorn. They really turned around this program. Alcorn was struggling. I said at the time it wasn't a job a lot of people really want to have. Jay Hobson came in there and turned it around because he had a great freshman class that left there as champions. And then you get the guys like Stacy Garner, Michael Hearn, and Eric Foster. All those guys on the defense do a good job. Proud program. Tough year this year. If they do fall up short in this game, they definitely went out with the heart of a champion.
And this one, so far as they attend to Garner on the field, has been a tale of two halves. So let's go down to the sideline, Sherry, with an update on a previous injury. Cheryl?
Guys, I'm down here, an update on the player number 5 on Grambling who was just taken off the field. He has taken off all of his pads, his helmet. There seems to be a wet washcloth almost on the back of his neck, and there's still a medical trainer just now squirting some water down the back of his jersey.
All right, that's Dearius Christmas, Sherry, and thank you for that report. And again, they attend to Garner on the field. Again, a tale of two halves. In the first half, Grambling only 163 total yards. And there is Christmas getting some attention on the sideline as he, with all that impact, took some kind of injury to the back of the neck area. In the second half, Grambling has 13 first downs to Alcorn's 5, 242 total yards to 67 for the Braves, and no turnovers to 2 for the Braves, and of course have outscored Alcorn State 27-3 here in the second half to turn a 17-0 deficit at the half into a 7-point lead inside of 3 minutes remaining for a berth in the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl in 2 weeks in Atlanta, and a SWAC Championship 2016. Garner being helped off the field a little bit, looks a little wobbly on his feet, but now looking like he's walking more under his own power, which is a good sign. And now this is going to be a big 3rd down and 10. And if you're offensive coordinator here for Coach Broderick Fobbs, what are you calling here? A running play to make them take another timeout?
At this point, once your quarterback had the incomplete pass, then, you know, you kind of played in the hands of Alcorn. So I think you have to go for the first down. You have to be aggressive now with your play selection and call some crossing routes in front of the quarterback.
Kincaid, deep drop, throwing far side, has his man, and that is a big first down catch by his all-star receiver Chad Williams, and that'll move the chains, and that causes serious damage to the hopeful comeback efforts of Alcorn after that 11-yard catch.
A deep drop and a great job by Williams of going down to the level to make the catch cleanly. And that's a huge first down for Grambling.
Now what do you think they're going to do? I'm going to say you're going to see at least 2 running plays here and try to make them exhaust their remaining 2 timeouts. And here's one. Spinning back over the middle, and we lose a helmet there, Martez Carter.
So now he has to leave the game. But actually, because the timeout's being called, he could remain in the game if he wanted to.
Alcorn State, their second 30-second timeout.
Of course, the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl, and a very successful inaugural year last year. And now North Carolina Central, the Eagles await the winner of this one.
You know, and we've talked, I think for most of the season, the talk of HBC football has been about Grambling and North Carolina A&T. Give credit to Central. They waited, they stalked A&T at the last week of the season. They've lost 2 games this year. They lost both their games to FBS opponents, Duke, as well as Western Michigan, who's a top 25 undefeated team. So quality losses, if you can have such a thing. That's a very good ball club that head coach Jerry Mack has put together in Durham. And last season, the Mid-East Athletic Conference won the Celebration Bowl with North Carolina A&T. That's not going over too well with SWAC folks. I've been hearing about it all year because I went to Howard. They claim I'm a MEAC guy. Can't control where I went to school. But the SWAC folks want that national championship so bad to take it from the MEAC, and Atlanta will be the place to be December 17th.
2 weeks from today, another run play right up the middle, and Carter once again taking, not Carter, I'm sorry, Lindemian Brooks, who was in to replace Carter on that play, went right up the middle, and he was slung backwards.
Timeout.
So the final timeout.
Alcorn State, their 32nd timeout.
Third and final timeout for the Braves. So you may see another run play, but again, the kicking game comes into play here. You don't have your all-conference punter, field goal kicker, Jonathan Wallace, back there. So you're not really expecting a very good kick from whoever is in there backing him up. So it's not like a normal situation where you'd have Wallace and possibly pin them way back with no timeouts, and they have to drive the length of the football field in an effort to tie it.
You really don't want to kick. With the backup punter, you don't want to have to kick at all because you don't want him to bobble it or field it or something.
Please reset the game clock to 2 minutes.
You will have to kick it.
Thank you.
And I think right now you still go with using the clock to your advantage. Alcorn out of timeouts. You run the football here, take it down, full 40 seconds afterwards, and then give Alcorn the ball back with about a minute and 20, and maybe you can pin them inside the 20 or 10. I'm not thinking Conte has a lot of legs, so he probably can't punt it 40 yards.
Martez Carter is the back. Right now standing to the right of Devontae Kincaid. 3rd and 10. And quick swing pass. And Carter brought down immediately, and that is Eric Foster. First team all-conference. That nickel, that hybrid, whatever you want to call it, he plays it all very well. And so now Grambling will just let this clock run. Don't be surprised if they even take a delay here and take as much time out of the clock off the clock as possible, and hope they get a decent punt from somebody who's not been put in this position very often.
And I'm sure Alcorn will go for the punt block. Well, in this situation here, you almost want to say because it's their backup punter, I wouldn't necessarily waste my time with a return man. Put the pressure on him. Say you have to get the kick off. If you get it off, we don't think you practice enough pinning the ball inside the 10-yard line.
Grambling State, their first.
Before they took a 5-yard penalty, Fobbs calls a timeout for Grambling, and that'll be the first of their 3 in the second half. A big second half for Grambling. They get back into it right away, starting with their first possession of the half. Throw it up for grabs.
On 4th down. They went for it on 4th down after a huge return. And that was Verlin Hunter with great concentration for the touchdown. And then Kincaid stepped up his game, but I really think the second half MVP was Martez Carter. I mean, he stepped up his game in a major way, became a difference maker, and that run there was remarkable in terms of having the ability to finish it and get to the end zone, and that's what gave Grambling the lead.
Well, wow.
I think they just wanted to catch it.
Jonathan Wallace is back in the game, turned right ankle and all. And let's see what kind of punt he gets away here. And a pretty good one. It's going to be marked out of bounds. And boy, talk about a guy who comes off an injury and needs a clutch kick. That is a clutch kick being placed out of bounds at the 7-yard line. That is something else from a guy who can barely walk around. 32 yards on the punt, no return.
Yeah, and they wanted him just to get it off. That's a lot of pressure on your 3rd-string punter to get that punt off with a punt block coming. He's got the sure hands, made the kick. Nice execution by the special teams.
Yeah, and they bring Wallace back on to actually make that kick with the sprained ankle. So it was actually the starter who comes back in and gets a big punt on that one. And what a clutch play by him. Now we'll see what Alcorn does. They are not out of this by any stretch. 1:18 to go. And Lenoris Footman and the offense needing to drive the length of the football field. Footman, quick pass is off the hands of the intended receiver and almost intercepted. Travaris Johnson was trying to run with that one before he had it, and it almost resulted in a Grambling interception.
And when you think who's their game breaker they have right now, it's Orlando Beals. He's been their go-to guy. They said he had to come up big today in order for them to win. He's played a solid game, but they need him now in this last minute and 14 seconds.
Remember, the Braves have no timeouts left. Here's Footman. And throws underneath. This is Johnson once again, and Johnson trying to get to the sideline. They'll keep the clock running, though. He's gone marked down at the 20-yard line. Diamante Johnson brought him down, but they keep the clock running. This will be a 3rd and short.
Wow, a lot of time being wasted as they try and make a substitution.
Footman on the quarterback draw.
They'll give him that.
And they're going to only stop the clock briefly to move the chains, and once they do, it'll continue again. So you might see a quick spike here in order for Alcorn to just get their bearings back. Well, maybe not. Inside 30 seconds now.
Oh, no.
Let them have the underneath stuff all day as they get that one out to the 30.
I mean, this could be the ball game here. They're going to have to hurry up, get to the line of scrimmage, and there's going to be a rush to get this ball snapped.
Might be the last play. Deep downfield and a catch. But the time has expired. At least that's according to what we see here right now. Let's see what the official call is. Well, if you're 1 second left. On the near side, that was Marquise Warford vehemently protesting that the game clock expired.
And I think you owe it to these young men to at least take a look at it.
Right.
Maybe we'll see it in game time footage if there was a second left on the clock or not. Let's take a look. Ball leaves his hands we're slowed it down a little bit. Catches it with 2. He could have landed with 1 second left. I mean, out of bounds stops it. Got a late spot.
I think upon further review, there's going to be 1 second left in this game. They'll have one Hail Mary chance. As everybody from the Grambling side, people still dancing and so forth, celebrating, but this isn't over yet.
Yep, catch is clean out of bounds. They moved the trophy off the field, so you get a sense that they're going to end up giving them the 1 second as well. They should.
The previous play is under review of the game time expiring during the play.
And there's no question he makes the catch cleanly. Out of bounds, so that stops the clock there. See how soon the official sees it. But I think this is the best one when you piece them together there. I mean, he catches the ball at 2 seconds. You could almost make the argument he's got 2 seconds, but at least 1, which is all they care for right now. And with that 1 second, they should get another play.
And you've got to throw this one into the end zone and hope for the best if it is indeed 1 second remaining on the game clock after this review. Referee Rod Holloway has been very busy in this one. Fred McNair, the first Air McNair at Alcorn, has seen his share of last-second heroics in his career. And his younger brother, the late legendary Steve McNair, had his share. And that man right there has tutored many fine quarterbacks who had some miracle plays go their way, and they need one right now if this is actually overturned and there's exactly 1 or 2 seconds remaining in this.
With the ball being on the 32-yard line, then that gives Footman the ability to scramble around, move, and he doesn't have to throw a ball with a lot of arc hanging time in the end zone. His arm is strong enough where he can deliver the ball on a rope to a wide open receiver.
And of course, you got 5 guys placed at the 10-yard line back to the end zone line for Grambling. Their job, of course, not to let anybody get behind them.
You see, they're telling them, knock it down. We don't want any heroes they want to knock down. But I still think that they're close enough where they can stick a seam route in there.
After further ado, the ruling on the play of a completed catch and then run out of bounds with 1 second remaining on the clock. The ball will be spotted on the 33-yard line. First down, Alcorn State.
So Fred McNair and company. Fred Keiss, the offensive coordinator, draw it up. 1 play. 33-yard line, 1 second. They need a touchdown, an extra point to tie and send it into overtime.
The clock will start on the snap.
That catch was good for 36 yards. Footman arcs it up, end zone. That's out of bounds. That has no chance. And now Grambling can officially celebrate the 2016 SWAC Championship and a berth in the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl 27-20.
This team showed a lot of guts in Alcorn as well. I mean, they came in here huge underdogs, put up a tremendous fight, but at the end of the day, it seems like the better team won, which is Grambling once they got it going in the second half. And the Tigers' quest to regaining glory continues, and now they've got a date set. December 17th, they'll be one of the last 2 teams in HBCU football standing as they try and win the national championship versus North Carolina Central University.
Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. Atlanta will be rocking.
Yes, sir.
2 weeks from today. And I tell you, what a season it's been for me here to be with you, my friend, partner. It's been wonderful.
It's been my joy working with the legendary Clemens, as we said. And it's an exciting season. All the star power we saw this year during the regular season. Tillery. Talk about Kincaid. This is our second time seeing him. Tariq Cohen was a big story. And at the end, these two, I can't wait to see it all. And these young men left it all on the field. What a gutsy effort by Alcorn State.
All right, Sherry Burr is standing by with Coach Sherry.
Thanks, guys. Coach Fobbs, you said to us that you wanted to be able to come back to this championship game, beat the defending champions. What does it mean for you in this program, what you guys just did?
Well, it's huge. You know, these kids have fought so hard, you know, for the last 3 years, and you know, and they've figured it out how to win, you know, and they figured out how to go through things and endure, and they showed, Alcorn State showed why they were the 2-time defending champions. So my hat's off to them. They're a heck of a program. They'll do great things in the future, but this is our night, and I'm just pleased.
And what did you say to your team either at halftime or coming out in the second half after it was a heavy Alcorn sort of front?
We've been down before this year, and our kids never stopped believing, and I never stopped believing. You know, it was just a matter of everybody, you know, checking themselves and making sure that we come back and play Grambling Tiger football. I thought we did that the second half. Our kicker got injured in the first half, and We kicked some extra points with a guy that had never practiced before. And these kids are just so resilient. I'm just so happy for them.
And you called Devontae Kincaid coming to this program a blessing in disguise of what he went through. What has he meant to you, and how do you know this? This means so special for him.
Well, it's huge. He reached down deep tonight. All of these kids reached down deep tonight. I thought the inside of our kids showed tonight. But first, before I leave, I have to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because without him, none of this would be possible.
All right, thanks, Coach, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Sherry Burris, thank you so much. Jay Walker, thank you so much for what's been an incredible season. The entire crew here at ESPNU watches the Grambling State Tigers complete a full unbeaten SWAC season here in 2016, 27-20, coming back with 27 points in the second half to overcome Alcorn State and get that berth in the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. For all of us here at ESPN, this is Eric Clemens saying so long. We'll see you in a couple of weeks on ABC at the Celebration.